Hey, quick question. What was the name of the advisor again to the king?
Tulavi.
Tulavi, okay.
Tulavi.
I thought I was thinking like Olavi.
Yeah. That's close. Yes, she's from the "Don't Attack Your Neighbors" lobby. It's.
Jeez.
So yeah, let's just jump right in. I don't really have a proper intro, so last time Jisoo came back to life and everything went to crap in Becksload, apparently.
Bro, freaking going crazy.
No.
Yeah. It's insane.
Word the canvas.
Yeah. I'm really painting a picture for you right now. Just like stuff happens.
I can picture every minute of it. All right.
So this is nighttime, right?
Yes. Well, I think
What time was it?
I thought it was nighttime-ish.
No. It was day because it was the next day.
That's
after Jesse would come back, and we had been in his room and figured out.
It was still pretty early in the day.
Because it was kind of early in the day for that, but then we also introduced the hobgoblins to the king. Well, not the king, royal court.
We did that before we got the message, yeah.
And it was shortly after that I think we got the message. So early afternoon.
We all went shopping, and then we got the message.
Yeah, probably early afternoon was what time it would have been by the time.
Yeah, shopping was there too.
Sending spell came in.
Got a new axe.
Well,
that's functional.
Do we want to head out tonight or next day?
Let's.
I broke the tip.
It seems pretty urgent. I think we should go. We already did our shopping.
Okay. Well, let's just mention this to Talabi first, so they know like why we're
running,
why we're cutting loose.
Yeah.
People need me.
That's what I feel.
And just in case something's really bad, if they can send her in for like something.
Yeah.
Something terrible.
I'll go. Does anyone want to come with me to tell the lobby? Head out.
I think Tamati should go because he had the message.
Yeah, I can go.
Yeah, cool.
I'll go with you.
We're the diplomats.
Never thought that'd be said about me, but let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the feed's probably go too. Going someone in court would probably do that.
Yeah. So you return to court and are welcomed in. They now recognize you. People are still a little uneasy around like the giant Goliath, and you're probably okay because you're probably in a disguise of one sort or another. But they're probably still a little iffy about the huge Goliath barbarian.
Yeah, I'm like, that's all right. I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah. Everyone is very grateful, and so like the atmosphere is much friendlier now. But when you arrive, Tulavi is conversing with some of the hobgoblins that are still in court.
Tulavi, please pardon the intrusion. We just received an urgent message that there is something very amiss going on in Becksload, and we are going to hasten there as soon as we can.
Oh, well, I wish you safe travels. Is there anything that we can offer you to ease your way? Because unfortunately, I'm afraid we have no manpower that we can provide. Things are complicated at the moment, as you might understand. We have to be prepared for the possibility of an uprising, that people will not accept the shift in regime. And
yeah, of course.
All the more reason for us to go confirm your alliance with the hobgoblins.
Yeah.
There's that.
But if there is anything else we might provide you with that we have, we would be more than willing.
Do you have any magic casters who could like teleport us there?
We have some magic users in the city. Most of the wizards are a bit They're hermits. We don't hear from them very much. The people powerful enough to do that are either not present or we don't have as much contact with them.
It'll be okay. I think with the attributes of the stag that I've got, it'll at least cut our time in at least half. So
She says, we do have a permanent teleportation circle, but only to, like, it only is attached to teleportation circles in certain other major locations, I'm afraid.
Are there any nearer to on the way to Becksload that would be closer from here?
We could send you to Gate, perhaps, but that is...
a whole lot closer.
It's a detour. You'd be on the road about the same time from Gate as you would be from here.
Yeah, we'll just go with it.
Although I did have one concern request. In the message, we were told that what's his name? One of the Winds.
Yeah, Galdrin.
Galdrin Windhead went crazy or something because of an investigation into him, and they had taken hostages. Such.
The other half of that message says that was taken care of.
Well, I know it was taken care of, but there's been that's been two of the three Wind children who have caused very grave danger for the town of Becksload.
That's true.
I don't know. Would it, with the president of danger, do you think it would be, or to maybe with the ship and find someone in the community who's more trusted and, who's more trusted and whatnot to become, helping with this transition and such?
As I understand it, the Chayminster family is much better liked in Becksload. They are one of the other remaining noble families there. I can't say I've met them personally. When they have made visits here, they have not dealt with me directly, but I have heard good things about them. And you actually have met one of the Chayminsters at the bank. And she says, other than that, the other noble family present there are, I believe, the Marchmains.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
really? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They fought.
He taught me how to fight.
He whooped him.
Yeah.
Shush!
She says, I believe
I'm gonna whoop you later.
She says, I believe that the only surviving member of the Marchmain family is a Miles Marchmain.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one.
I'm glad they're good nobles. But do you think it might be prudent to at least revoke the political power that the Winds have, the last brother?
It would be a little more than a formality on our part, but we're certainly willing. Given the nature of the way that the Wind family has interacted with everyone around them as of late, we certainly will not respect their authority any longer and will strip them of noble status. But if there is only one sibling left alive in Becksload, then it is perhaps only a formality that they likely would, the local authorities in Becksload are probably disinclined to do business.
Okay.
You're muted, Sadie.
But it would be good to have an official document, perhaps, to that effect.
She says,
Now I'm in.
Certainly. Wait here for a moment. I'll have one written up and sign it. You wait a few minutes.
To effect.
Yeah.
Thus begins the scheming.
You
I was
wait
just
a few
saying.
minutes while she has someone write up some documents and notarize them. She signs the documents in her official capacity and has a copy given to you that you can give to the local authorities in Becksload when you return.
Excellent.
Okay, cool. I'll just pocket that for now.
Okay. Sadie, what were you saying?
Oh, I just was saying we were talking about the other brother.
Tedric.
Tedric, thank you. And I just was saying, who knows what his mental condition is like because we stole his drugs.
Right?
It's very expensive drugs.
And one quick question: how many days has it been since we last did speak on Cora's?
2 days at most, I think.
So we probably wouldn't be able to do a speak with that on her because it has to be 10 days, right?
Yeah. It didn't work on her anyway.
Yeah. It could be nice to get information.
Do they actually have the body?
They do, yes. They have some people studying the body because there are some unusual energies going on with it. They're not sure if it's anything to be concerned about or not. But
yeah.
We would just say we try it really quick, and if it doesn't work, then in 2 days.
Or we could just go.
I think we've dilly-dallied before.
The copper that's in the bag of holding.
What's that?
The 500-pound one? The
Yeah.
500 gold one, I mean?
The copper.
The copper chunks.
Copper pile.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you could get that cashed in.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably to do that, you would essentially sell it for its scrap metal value, which would be about 500 gold. There are several metal workers in town that would be able to do that for you, or like the banks probably would as well, but they'd also only pay you the scrap metal price because they'd still have to take it and have it like melted down and reminted. So,
Well, it's just like one layer of copper and then it's all like platinum.
Except we broke it up into 3 pieces. So
yeah, it's you already
Use
broke
that.
it up and it was copper all the way through. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, if we could do that because I need more space in that.
Yeah, should we say we do that really quick and then just
Yeah,
do it out?
you guys can take a few minutes and you are paid a total of 500 gold pieces. Or if you prefer, if you go to the banks, they could pay you instead in platinum pieces. It would be 50 platinum.
let's do that. Because it's shiny.
Yeah. It's shiny and there's less of it. So,
I only care about shiny. More is always better than less shiny.
it weighs less, and so it's...
There's that.
So he was 500.
They need to get us 500.
500 gold or 50 platinum.
I feel like it'd be better to have it.
Sorry, guys.
Gold. You're the one with the bag of holdings. You choose.
I feel like it'd be better to do it in smaller pieces. I don't know.
Sure, let's do 500 gold.
Okay, cool. And we got
like platinum. One platinum is basically 10 gold.
10 gold.
So it's just.
Is that
Do you want it in ones or tens as well?
Do you have any twos?
Yeah, where does Electrum?
Electrum fits in between silver and gold.
Okay.
And is an Electrum piece is worth 5 gold, I believe.
Huh.
5
Okay.
silver.
Hit 5 silver. Yeah, an Electrum piece is half a gold, essentially.
Okay. Got it.
They're a little less commonly used than other pieces.
Yeah. Which is why I forget them all the time.
anything else before we head out?
Before we leave, I want to ask Lavi, as we've been traveling and stocking our supplies, we've been dipping into our funds as a group. Would you have any ability to lend us or to contribute to those funds to do our travels?
We could perhaps offer some reward for your assistance with the recent matters.
I like rewards.
Yes.
I'm not actually there, though, so I can't.
Any assistance you could lend would be most appreciated in speeding us back to Becksload.
Yeah, she says the rewards that we would be able to offer would be limited compared to what we might ordinarily offer. We must have funds tied up in maintaining the peace at the moment.
Of course.
Or like potions. Any of that kind of stuff.
They need not be strictly monetary.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, she pulls together. She goes and speaks to some advisors, and they pull together a reward of 150 gold pieces for each of you,
Yes.
and also a cache of 8 healing potions in total.
Woo!
Alright.
Cash money. You said 150?
Yeah, 150 each.
Okay.
So we got 8 healing potions. Just divide them later.
I'm at
So it's
266, you guys.
nice.
So that's a total of about 900 gold, which is not an insignificant sum. But
That's pretty good.
No, it's not. Thank you so much. We will be hitting.
And
best of luck to
is
you.
it? Do you have any means of through magic or something to contact us if there's like a I don't know, like if we're around the area and you guys need some help?
Harold has sending.
Yeah, Harold's a cleric as well,
Okay.
so she says,
Just keep us informed.
yeah.
Just a sec, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Just like walking down the street like when's it like? No coffee. Does that 500 going to the party fund? Or?
Yeah, put it toward the party fund.
Woohoo! One day we'll have 1,000 in the party fund.
It's so fun.
Yeah. Sadie's in trouble.
What? No, I should be okay. Yeah.
And I'm almost up to 500, so I can start putting my
Hey, David.
party fund.
Yes.
Nice.
Actually, I'll ask later.
David, do you know if Sadie's keeping track of the party funds?
I think
Sadie has been.
Yeah, cool.
All right, so if you guys are going to hit the road,
Don't you come back no more, no more.
Hey, we have a map.
so let me just figure something out real quick.
There's supposed to be a Skelly with an X in it.
Yeah, that was from when we had we were testing out
Timers.
the timer thing.
Oh, interesting.
Instead of having a hourglass, we had a skeleton with a face, big red X on it. And time's up. Dead. Ah! It was pretty rough. Worked really well, but terrible.
Let's see, I do not remember how much Jamarion charged you to cross the swamp.
I don't either.
Sorry, really quick. What was the town of Lord Sign?
That was
Tigminster.
Tigminster.
Okay, really quick before we leave, I tell Talavi about like what happened in Tigminster and how there's a new wolf.
We already did.
Yeah, you already
Okay.
did that.
Oh yeah, cool.
That was. Yeah, I don't remember how much you had to pay Jamarion. You could shave a little time off your travel time if you once again took his boat back across, but you also have no guarantee that he'll be on this side, and so it may or may not be worth.
Would we bypass like the major river thing if we did go to Gate and then just traveled there? Or do you think?
Could she get us up by Mardue?
No, they
That's
don't.
what I was wondering.
They don't have a
Darn.
circle to Mardue.
Because I was thinking if we could get up there and come down towards Becksload, we could stop and maybe see if Wyatt could help us too.
Yeah. So there, you can either kind of go south and around or north and around. There is very little difference in the speed of either path. It just kind of depends on if you want to stop anywhere along the way.
I think we need to get there. Hasty.
I vote for going back the same way we came through because we've pretty much taken care of everything that's on the way there.
Right.
We're not gonna go. Ooh, a new city.
There.
Let's stop there. Ooh, a new.
Yeah.
Either way, we're not gonna stop at a city.
Yeah.
Right, and we can check things.
But, I mean, we'll maybe stop for like a sleep. But...
Yeah.
Right.
Sleep outside.
Okay, let's just go the way we came.
Okay.
More normally.
If we did go through gate, would we avoid like any major we had to take?
What's that?
If we did go through gate, like the teleportation, would we avoid any major bodies of water?
Not really, no.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's just go the way we came.
Like the weather is a little better now, and things are not as
Flooded.
yeah, things aren't as washed out and dangerous. So let's see.
I can't even see Becksload. It's so far away. Doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore?
I'm trying to.
Not when you're role playing across the world.
You crack me up, Shara.
You could be a bard one of these things.
Well, yeah, I say if you want. No, that's fine.
All right, I'd say if you guys really rush it, then you could make it in probably, especially with Timothe's new speed granted to the party, you guys could probably make it in 5 or 6 days. But
Yeah.
rushing that quickly would have some.
Severe consequences.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, let's see how good does it be.
Let's see.
Here's the question: does Waldo want to stay or come with?
Waldo needs to return. He's.
Yeah.
The guild.
The guild needs him. The human halfling.
Right, somebody can carry him if he can't keep up.
Yeah.
Come on, Waldo. Come on. God, get off my shoulders.
I think between the 6 of us. Oh, no, 7. Hold on. Yes, 7.
Right.
The 7 of us. Plus Giles and Tathael. Your new thing is 10 people, right?
It's pretty well tapped out, yeah.
So, but we're all covered because
Yeah.
the hobgoblins aren't coming with us.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're still good to go.
Makes it nice.
How long did it take us to get here?
It was like 2 weeks almost.
Yeah, it was coming up on 2 weeks. You made good time, and part of that was that you essentially skipped a few days taking a boat across the swamps.
Okay.
And you aren't guaranteed that you'd be able to find his boat for the way back, so you probably just have to go around.
Dang it.
But yeah, 6 or 7 days if you are like.
If we went to the lake and I just hovered across it and asked him to come back, would that?
Hey.
That ultimately would probably not save you any time, because the amount of time it would take you to cross it and get to him and then return
And come
with
back.
him would be
About the same.
yeah.
As going around.
Do we want to risk it though?
If you guys travel at a forced march pace where you are traveling more than 8 hours a day, you will risk exhaustion But
Exhaustion.
If I like hover part of that, like, will I get exhaustion?
And I'll make some soup every time we stop.
yeah, like you'll, no matter whether you are like, it's still moving. Like even if you're
Still
hovering, like,
fast.
it still requires like your
Just to like hover
You're
while
still
laying
awake.
like.
yeah.
Should we maybe risk just hitting the swamp and hoping that he's there and see if we can like cut off?
Like you won't really lose time checking, at least.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it's only-
let's at least check for him.
Yeah,
If it's
just because like it will suck if we have to do a big battle and we all have exhaustion.
yeah.
That's like you get a disadvantage.
You have disadvantage on a lot of things if you're exhausted.
Lots of ability checks, which includes initiative.
Mm.
Which would
Yeah.
be-
Let's go check, and if not, we'll book it. But we can avoid that.
Yeah, what if we booked it part of the time? But not,
Right,
like,
yeah.
the whole time?
Yeah.
Because, especially, like, as we get closer to Becksload, we're going to want to be well-rested. And
Yep.
Cool, let's do it.
All right, so you guys
Check for the boat.
Yeah, you guys leave Tannensold and you make your way back to the edge of the swampland, and you actually do see Jamarion's boat here.
Yes!
He's just bringing a small load of people, and they are just stepping off the boat, and he
yes!
sees you and recognizes you, and it's like, oh, my friends!
Yes, we need
Demarion!
to help.
I'm glad your boat is unloaded. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
-10. It'll give us there faster.
It's just like, there are fewer of you this time.
Yeah, that's what happens
Yeah.
whenever you bring half
Kind
the
of a
party
lot
becomes
of-
diplomats and,
Yeah. And this is why I'm wishing I remembered what he had asked you for last time.
kind of runs in my mind it was like 100 person.
I think that's what it was.
100 per person?
There's 100 or 150, something like that.
Yeah, he
Because
says,
it was taking us the whole way and speeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says once again that he's like, well, 100 gold per person, which should be a bit less expensive for you now.
Considerably, yes.
This is the wrong binder. I grabbed the wrong binder.
Dun, dun, dun.
We want to do party fund or just each of our own?
The party fund does not have enough to pay for all of us.
Oh,
We
the
just
500
got
went to
150.
the 500 from the copper went to the party fund.
Yeah,
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Giles will pay his own way here.
What about Tateo?
Tathiel doesn't really have any money, so...
I'll pay for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this is 800. So it's 150 gold pieces?
100 per person.
100 per person.
Yeah.
And I've got
So
me and
party fund can cover 8 people before it's tapped out.
I've got me and
I think-
Tathiel.
I think we just each got 150
Yeah, so we just pay
personally.
our own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just take mine from there too. From my own.
Okay. So, by the time you reach the edge of the swampland, you find that it's early afternoon by that time. He loads you up, and the weather is more favorable now. It's not as kind of drizzly and unpleasant as it was the whole way. And you very quickly zip across the swamp, and by the end of the day, you are in Darken Flat.
Yeah!
So...
Loving this.
So let me see. There.
We just drifted through Dark and Flat, didn't we? We didn't even like touch it.
No, we just went straight through.
Sweet. That's why it's not written down in my notes.
I did have Dark and Flat down, but we didn't
Nice.
do anything.
Yeah, it was like rush down to the docks and let's go.
Yeah. From here, you can reach Becksload in 6 days, even if you don't press yourselves.
Okay, cool.
So you could get there faster if you pressed yourselves.
Do we do like one day push hard, one day kind of take it easy?
Like every other.
Yeah.
I'd be for that.
As long as we end up well rested before we get to Becksload.
Let's see.
I complain every night that we sleep because I'm like, come on, we gotta get there faster, and everyone's like, days.
We'll be useless if we show up exhausted.
We'll still show up on time.
Yeah.
I didn't say I'm gonna fight it. I just said I'm gonna complain about it.
We're doing the best we can.
So basically, when you are working on a forced march, every hour of travel you spend beyond 8 hours, you make it another 4 or 5 miles, but you have to make a Constitution saving throw at the end of the hour to try to avoid taking a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
So 8 hours will get you through 1 hex, and each additional hour will push you a few more miles into the next one, basically.
Okay.
I'm just keeping pace with everybody else because I know I can just like rush it. So
All right.
I'm leaving the decision of how fast we go to everybody else.
Yeah. So end of day 1, you sleep in dark and flat.
Wait, is it an ability check or a saving throw?
Saving throw. Constitution saving throw to avoid taking levels of exhaustion. And the DC gets harder for each hour past 8 hours as you push yourself further. So
we're making it there right now with Smarty's ability in 6 days. That's about more than half of the time that we spent getting here. Do we really want to push the exhaustion? I'm not super constitutional. I might take it the first roll.
Yeah, I have a concern.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking like maybe the first like day or something we push it really hard and risk the exhaustion, but once we get closer we need to start resting up and make sure that we're caught up, I guess.
Oh, so like if we do take exhaustion, take a day to recuperate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like taking it easy so that we have time to recover and
Okay.
That was what I thought.
So let's do one long march, and if anyone gets exhausted, we can take a regular day the next day.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, I'm trying to remember just like how exactly it works for removing exhaustion.
I think it's a long rest.
A long rest removes a point of exhaustion.
I believe so, yeah. Like 1 level of exhaustion goes away at a long rest, but let me check to be sure.
Just please.
Conditions.
I wish there was a spot on the paper to mark exhaustion.
I thought there was.
I put it in the notes under the saving throws. I got mine.
Oh, right there. That's a good idea.
Provided that you have some food and drink at a long rest, your exhaustion level is reduced by 1. So
That's what it is. Gotcha.
Good to say again.
So as long as you have food and drink at the long rest, then you can remove it.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And I've got pots and pans. We'll have water around us, and we got the fish, so we should be fine.
So I've got my exhaustion on my paper ready to go in case I take levels of exhaustion. I'm planning ahead.
Alright, so for day 2 of your travels, how many hours are you going to risk forced march?
Do we have to roll for each
For
hour?
each
Yes.
hour over 8 that we
And
march.
the DC,
An hour at a time.
yeah, the DC of those checks is 10 plus 1 for each hour past 8 hours. So the first DC, you just have to get a Constitution saving throw of higher than 11. The second hour, you have to get higher than 12, and so on.
Well, that's easy. We can do that.
It's especially easy for you.
Says
You have
the Goliath.
Constitution up the. like, just,
Yes, I do. It's a saving throw, right? Not a check.
Yeah.
yeah.
In that case, double yes. Oh yeah.
So whatever you roll.
How long do we want to risk it?
Let's just do hour by hour really
Yeah,
quick.
Okay.
Hour by hour, and then we decide.
Okay.
Okay.
See who taps out first.
Watch it be me. It's gonna be me. Oh no,
Oh,
Shara, what
no.
happened?
No, I didn't roll yet.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I'm
I will
scared.
also roll for Tathael, who is fine.
Oh, I got a natural 1.
oh, 17.
Well, what's your...
That's probably fitting.
Yeah, what,
You know,
I mean, your saving
came
throw's
back
not
to-
that high no matter what. So, yeah, you take a level of exhaustion from
As
that.
I came back to life, do I have the negative to everything or no?
No.
Yeah, would he already have levels of exhaustion from being dead?
From being dead.
Well, we spent about a day in Tannen's Hold, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
he
did.
would have had time to recover.
I got a 25.
So 11 for 11 for Smias and 4 for Jesu.
Okay, so Jasu takes a level of exhaustion.
Holy. That's with my dwarven thrower. That was like great. Dice.
Tathael and Giles are fine. They both succeeded that one.
Samati, can you carry him?
You betcha.
So what happens if we do that?
Well, hey, we're gonna risk anyways. I'll just risk another level of exhaustion.
Yeah,
But
I'd
I'm still
say
curious.
If
Probably
Tamati carries you, then just the DC goes up a
I was
little
gonna say
bit for
it's
his check.
Okay.
For his check?
Yeah, for mine.
Good
For mine.
timing.
Oh,
Because
do
I'm
Do
you
rushing
want-
plus carrying.
you
Okay,
want
cool.
to do that? You don't have to do that.
I got 25 this last roll, so
Okay.
I
All
think I'll
right.
be okay.
But
All right.
Yeah, the DC goes up for him, and you don't have to make a check because you're being carried. So
Enjoy it.
What?
Carry your butt all over
Yeah,
the place.
yeah. Gonna try to make another.
Yeah, we're
hour
gonna go
then.
another hour, I think.
Round 2.
All right.
All right.
Oh,
Natural 20!
I'm so hurt. 17.
Tathael takes a level of exhaustion, and Giles rolls a natural 1, so he takes a level of exhaustion.
Okay, so we're stopping at
Maybe
this
it's time
point.
to stop.
Yep, time to
I'll go
stop.
start some stew.
12 for Smias. Yeah, we'll just take a rest. And...
It was even low for me. I got 17. So
Yeah. Well,
So low.
that's still enough. Even with carrying him, it's still enough. But
my favorite.
because with
Oh,
you
I
carrying
heard
him,
17! Get
Uh-huh.
out of here.
Just leave.
with you carrying him, I was setting the DC for that one at 15. So
That's kind of what I figured. Well, it's what I was hoping for anyway.
yeah,
I rolled a 10.
I got a 23 on my last one.
yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Natural
So
20!
yeah, so you guys, you make it a further, probably 10 miles or so than you would have if you hadn't pressed.
Yes.
Perfect.
And you can make camp for the night and eat, take your rest, lose your single levels of exhaustion.
What exhaustion?
Anyone who took that. All right, so that's the end of day 2. Beginning of day 3, none of you have levels of exhaustion because you only took 1, and so you were like even those who did only took 1. And
Yeah.
the long rest was able to solve that problem. So for day 3, do you want to just do a standard march or forced march?
No, let's just go. I say we keep going.
Let's say force march because if we have no exhaustion.
Yeah, because we're all good
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
So
let's do it.
let's do it again.
All right, so you push forward 8 hours, and on the 9th hour, like you've passed through Naren Beacon at this point, and
I went to Grenwick last time.
you could go through, you could go along the southern road if you'd prefer. I could just-
Doesn't matter. I was just saying. I like Narren Beacon. Look, quite a little town.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Earmark that one for later.
All right, so the first hour after that, everyone make your checks. Tathael is fine. Giles is super fine. He rolled like an 18 before I add bonus into that.
17.
10 for Jesu and 14 for Samaeus.
Oh no, just Sue again.
And
Is it a natural 10 or is it 10 after your bonus?
10 after my bonus.
Okay, so Jesu takes a level of exhaustion again. You're having Jesu's having a hard time having been recently dead. This is still this is all a little bit of a strain on him.
I had 12.
Okay.
I was close. A little nervous on that one.
So if I get double exhaustion, do I have to rest two long rests?
You'll have to rest twice.
I can carry it again if we need to.
well, Mouse also.
Yeah, Mouse also.
Mouse needs it too.
I can carry both of you.
Okay.
What did you?
How big is Mouse?
I mean, how?
Like the two of you together are within his carrying capacity comfortably. I can tell you that. Like
Look at,
You don't reach 600 pounds, I think. Just saying.
if you want to carry us, grab us and let's do another.
Just one on each shoulder. Just.
Yeah.
Okay, that means that
You had like a pleasant conversation the whole time.
the DC for this with you carrying both of them will be 19.
Woo! Okay.
So
Come on.
So everybody make your.
Let's see.
Fine. Giles
19 you
fine.
said,
It's 12 for this one, correct?
Yes, 12 for everybody except him.
20.
Sorry, guys.
I rolled a 13 plus my 7 gives me 21. Or no, gives me 20. Gives me 20 because 19 was my cutoff, so I have just over.
Yeah, like it's
We got 20. We're doing good,
if you had gotten a 19, it would have still counted as a success. It's like meet or exceed.
Oh, that's right. That's
is a
right.
success,
So I keep forgetting that.
I got a total of 4.
Oh, okay. We'll stop. They're just chugging along. Look back, Zafine. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Carry another one.
Run back, pick up Zafine.
How
match up the
are,
group. Okay.
How are Tathael
Here,
and
Tamati,
Giles
don't get the
doing,
water. I'm not
actually?
doing it tonight.
They're fine.
Are they okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
they're both saved.
Maybe I can carry Zafine piggyback style, and we can go one more round.
Yeah.
You want to?
How long does levitate last on?
What's your
Zafine.
strength?
0.
Well, not the modifier, the score.
10.
Yeah, let me see. I don't know if you could do that.
Let's just go ahead and rest. That's fine.
Yeah, let's just rest.
I'll say all the time that you made, you actually make it just to Wizbeck.
Yes!
Yeah.
Close. And, yeah, Rin, like, you're already carrying a total of like 80 pounds of equipment, and your carrying capacity before you're encumbered is like 150 pounds.
Yeah.
So
Let's just rest.
You'd be
so
right
you
there.
can't handle that.
Okay.
Tamati,
Thank you for offering.
Yeah, Tamati's a beast, but
I try. I work out
all
every
right.
day.
So you guys are able to rest in Wizbeck and recover from your exhaustion. That's
I order out instead of cooking tonight.
yeah.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's the end of day 3, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So day 4 begins. Do you want to continue to
Yeah.
first march?
Ready, set,
Yeah.
go.
March.
All right. You can take the low road that saves you a little time past between Tigminster and Rustgrove because it is no longer flooded.
Yes.
Do that.
So that'll shave off some more time. You make it to Tigminster. You continue on your next hour. Everybody make your checks or saves. Oh, Tathael takes a level of exhaustion with a natural 1. And so does Giles. Natural 1s twice for each.
Oh!
I'm out too.
We got one the other day too.
I got 14.
I got.
I don't think I can carry everybody.
Yeah.
So 13 for Jesu and 7 for Samaeus.
Oh, man.
Okay. Is this going to be the one where everyone but Jesu takes exhaustion?
I'm good today. It was
Ooh.
nice and refreshing not having to cook.
Timaeus offers to go into the bag of holding.
That is an option.
Go. We'll just do that.
Him and Archytas can have a good conversation while.
He doesn't need to breathe, so he can...
Well, hold on, but that's still how many of us that are exhausted.
There's like 4.
Tathiel and Giles.
And me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, Timaeus gets shoved into the bag of holding.
Still 3 people.
Anyway.
Could I carry one person?
I kind of doubt it.
Could I carry 3 people?
If you can carry 3, I could carry one.
You could, but the DC will be higher.
It'd be way higher.
Like,
Wait,
you'll
I'm
be,
gonna need one of those
you'll be at a
25
DC
rolls.
of, I believe, 22 at that point.
Me?
No,
No,
but
me.
Timaeus. That's not Timaeus.
Tamati.
If Tamati carries
So-
3 people, then...
But if you do that, you get a little exhaustion. We'll
How
still
about
be able
this?
to rest
You
before we get there.
you take them, and I'll risk one more.
No, don't worry about it. I'll try and carry
You
everybody.
sure?
I'll
My con
put Mouse-
modifier is pretty good. I just rolled really bad.
put Mouse on my back.
Fine.
Okay, I'm trying to
We'll
decide... Let's see, I need to check something real quick.
Oh, I need to mark exhaustion.
I just have to roll higher than a 15, so dice are with piece of cake. That's for 3 people, so I'm good. That's piece of cake.
Wait,
And
did
then
you say
I'll-
higher than 15?
Sure, I can roll higher than 15.
Let's see. I'll say, Jisu, you probably can manage, but your DC will be a little higher than it would be if it was Tamati,
Okay.
because
I'm awesome.
Yeah.
he has a lot more strength than anyone else in the party. So
So who's all exhausted? Mouse,
Rin and
Mouse
Tathiel
roll.
and Giles.
Okay, yeah, I'll put Mouse on my back.
okay,
Sweet.
the DC.
I'll take the other 3.
The DC for Tamati for this one will be 22, and the DC for Jisu will be 18.
Okay.
I can walk, Daniel.
Don't worry about it. I got you.
I'm gonna get exhausted anyway, so we're just.
It's gonna be the one exhaustion point that I get the entire trip, so I think we can handle it.
Okay.
Good.
On it. Look.
And
Pull
pull the
on it.
trigger.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's what?
Wait,
Grand total like
okay.
3 of us?
14.
Dude, Chara! Now I'm super jealous. Oh, point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
14.
I got
Oh.
17.
Jesse's got exhaustion.
3's a little too
What
hard
were
for
you
me.
saying, Daddy? Come
I look at her with like 2 people on each shoulder, one wrapped around my neck.
on.
Okay.
I'll go get you some soup.
All right, so with no more than 1 level of exhaustion on anybody, you're able to take a long rest. You make camp.
Oh
set
yeah.
up, take a long rest.
Yeah.
Fix up the exhaustion. And let's see, day 5 now.
Yep.
We're kind of trying to rush through this section so it doesn't eat up all our time, but
Yeah.
and all right.
The
gonna
skill
continue
challenge
to-
is kind of fun, though.
I like it.
Gonna continue to forced march.
Yeah,
Yep.
we may as well.
Okay.
We don't have, like, any extenuating exhaustion on anybody, so let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
So you make it. Let's see, over to here before you have to make checks for further. Tathiel succeeds just barely for that first
Why
round.
didn't I roll that last time? It kept going. Dang, nabbit.
13.
Okay, you're good.
25.
Ooh, I'm out. I rolled a 6, so I get an 8.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not
14.
9. I'm exhausted.
Jesse.
Nice.
So I think we're all good.
No. I rolled
Josephine.
a 6,
Everyone.
so I'm
Okay.
out an 8.
I can pick
Okay.
up Zafine. Rotating if you want.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, here we go.
Let's do it again.
Let's go again.
Ah!
Alright.
Nope, that's a 6.
Woo, that was terrible.
Tathiel takes a level of exhaustion. Giles rolls a natural 20. Giles is good to go.
What?
16 for Jesu and natural 1 for Mouse.
I rolled a total of 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did 11.
Yeah.
So you met it, but then it was higher for you.
It would have been higher because I was carrying you.
Yeah, and it was a
higher DC
hour,
because
so
it was the second hour.
it would have started. It would have been
still hosed.
It would have been 12 even without carrying someone. Carrying someone, it would have been 15 for you.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Let's rest.
exhausted.
You make it almost to Rustgrove. Like you can see Rustgrove coming up, and also in the distance, off towards Becksload. At this point, you can see these columns of smoke from the woods around the area.
Oh no!
Calm the smoke.
Yeah, like
It's kind of pulling on the heartstrings, man. Knock that off.
there's
Okay.
like you can smell it from this distance. There are forest fires all around Becksload.
Shoot.
Okay. Cool. Let's rest and start up again.
All right.
Dice.
So day 6 begins. You travel through Rustgrove and just a bit past, and then everybody make your saves. Tathiel is fine. Giles is fine.
Oh, I'm fine.
Nope.
I run up and go, all right, who's next?
We got the same score, Shara.
We did.
We did.
11 for Mouse and
I got a 5 total.
and 15
I
for
got a
Jesse.
4 total.
All right, so Zafine and Rin are struggling here.
Guys, I'm sorry. I think I got a cold or something.
I just keep running, scoop them both up, one underneath the other.
Yeah. All right, gonna push forward and.
Yeah, may as well.
Yeah.
All right.
With 2 people in the second hour.
Yeah, that'll put the DC for Tamati at 19, I believe. And Tathiel's okay. Giles is done.
8 for Jesu, 14 for Mouse.
I'm doing great. I have, was it 20? 23. I'm doing great.
So, just Tathiel and...
Tathiel and Giles?
Tathiel's good, Giles is done. Giles.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say Tathiel and Tamati are the only ones who could still travel.
Mouse is good. Jesu got 8, so I have exhaustion.
Okay.
I can't carry
Wait,
more
what did Mouse get?
14.
Oh, okay, yeah, she was fine.
So Jesu just runs and jumps onto Tamati's back and starts like kneeling on the side, then getting.
I just have this image of me like carrying the entire party right now. God, it's just gonna be stupid. There's like Tathiel running beside me and me carrying 5 people. That's not gonna be good.
Yeah, no, I think we stop now.
I'm gonna roll just to see. Because I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I could take exhaustion. Actually, at that point, probably be 2 points of exhaustion at that point.
I'm gonna
Carrying 6
say
people.
if you you couldn't carry everybody.
Well, yeah, sure.
Like if you are carrying like 4 people, the DC for this one is going to be 28.
Can you get that?
Nope. The highest I can get is 20.
A natural 20 or a 28 are the only way. Like a natural 20, I'll give it to you.
I would have to have a natural 20 because otherwise I can only make it to 27. So
Yeah, let's.
I would prefer to rest.
Yeah, let's rest again.
All right.
Are we going again?
No.
No, we're resting.
No, we're resting.
Oh, I
again.
was like, okay, are you serious?
All right. At this point, you are approaching Becksload. You can see that as you've gotten closer, the columns of gray smoke have separated out. There are several. They all seem to be mostly to the south of Becksload in the forest, the sections of Athorn Woods that are kind of south of Becksload.
Man,
And,
Athorn, holy crap.
A freaking sigil.
It's that stupid salt monster back from the dead.
yeah,
Didn't actually kill it. No!
like the whole forest, you're in a part of Athorn Woods right now. Athorn Woods covers a lot of ground around this whole area, but yeah, it seems to go south from Becksload, and the smoke doesn't seem to be coming from Becksload itself. So that's
good.
That's
That's good. Still sounds like
should
it's
we
wrecked.
kind of head towards the smoke or Becksload? I think we should go to Becksload.
Becksload first.
Yeah, let's go into Becksload. Make
Yeah,
sure.
let's make sure. Let's report back to Dudry.
Duggery. Yeah, I'm concerned with people. I don't care about.
yeah.
I am very comfortable in the forest, but I ties to the people, not the trees. So.
Yeah.
Right. So, day 7, you make it out to the edge. It's probably a bad time to be considering forced marches now because you're close enough.
Yeah.
You don't want to get in with exhaustion. That would probably not be good.
We'll just rest and then go do a normal.
Okay, so you do notice that the forest is thicker here than it was when you left. There are more trees. Some of them are growing in the center of the road. Like, they look like they have been here for maybe, over 100 years. This looks like old-growth forest, and some of it is just cropped up out of the road.
What the heck?
Is this natural?
Odd. Do you want to do a perception arcana check?
Is there a check that I can do to see if it's
Like our
A nature check.
nature?
I still can't figure out how I have a -1 to nature. That's just terrible.
It's because your intelligence is not very
I
high.
live outdoors. I don't know that tree.
That's a 6.
Yeah, for you, I'd probably allow you to use survival for that, just
Okay,
because...
I will try survival.
Okay.
15? Meh.
Yeah, this,
Use the wrong dice, that's why.
it seems unusual because this definitely wasn't here before, and trees don't grow this quickly. Like,
Nope.
these trees look like they should be at least, 30, 40 years old, if not older. And they are just on the road now, and the growth is thicker everywhere. It makes me cringe.
Hey guys, I think these trees are weird.
Yeah.
It's not normal. It's not should be doing this.
Excellent observation.
Thanks. Excuse me.
Here.
Edit that one out.
Oh, I could have used bat roll. Dang it.
That's why I don't reroll.
what are we rolling for?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay. What do we do?
It's just so close. I'm like,
Let's rest and then just go again tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Well, so here's a question though. Not all of us need a full 8 hours of sleep. Could we use that to our advantage somehow? Or should we just all stay together? I'll use my extra time awake to work on my blood.
Okay. Let's see. Where in my disorganized notes do I need to find this now? Just so that I...
shake, rattle, and roll.
Roll for me.
So
All right. So the next day, you begin your travels. You are within probably 5 miles or so of Becksload when Tamati gets a sending from Dogri.
Oh no.
And she asks, "Where are you? Are you on your way?"
I respond back with 5 miles out, headed towards Becksload.
All right. So, as you are, you make it another mile or two, perhaps, and the forest is getting ever thicker. Like, you're almost to the point where it resembles rainforest now. There are, vines and lianas everywhere.
Whoa.
and you make it probably to about 2 or 3 miles out when Doggery makes her way through the overgrowth and greets all of you.
Just rush up, give her a big hug.
Yeah, she hugs you tightly, lifts you off the ground a little bit.
We're so glad to see you're okay.
What is happening?
Glad to see all of you. Things have been complicated.
That's what the message said.
It appears that way.
I wanted to meet you outside because I didn't want you to be taken by surprise. You have to sneak in and out of Becksload right now. It would be dangerous to just walk in because of the trees walking around.
Hey!
What?
Trees don't normally walk. What's going on?
I'm not entirely sure, but things have been bad. I'm not even sure where to start with telling you all that's happened. Oh.
Do I know anything about walking trees, DM?
You can make either a nature or an arcana check.
Oh, arcana check, please. I mean, I'm proficient in both. It doesn't matter, but...
Yeah.
While she's rolling with that...
Well, I'll do arcana first. If that doesn't work, I'll do a nature check.
I'm just going to ask Doggery,
didn't work.
is everybody okay? Is anybody down?
Things are bad.
That's an 11 for my nature check.
Yeah, you aren't sure. Like, you haven't heard of anything like this. But,
Darn hobbits.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah, she says, things are bad. Some are dead, some are hurt. It's like I guess, like, while we're approaching town before we have to quiet down, I'll tell you as much as I can. Verisa and I have barely been holding the town together. We've been holed up in the Wind Mansion.
The whole town?
As many as we can fit, especially the wounded.
That was really funny on my screen. He goes, wee!
Yeah, she says, Galdrin, not long after you left, had come under investigation. The Town Watch was publicly looking into his misdeeds, and he began to get on edge. He was, he clearly knew that he wasn't going to be able to wriggle out of this. And, he started to panic. And, one day, the Town Watch kept a close eye on him. They followed him around, and one day they must have gotten a little too close. And he was paranoid. He must have assumed they were coming for him. He took a few hostages and positioned himself just outside, or just inside the giant's skull. He had a number of hostages, including... I don't know if you ever met Jolvo Ebhill. Is the luthier around here. He was an apprentice of Bior's.
Oh.
Built guitars, other musical instruments. He was a longtime friend of Bior's and Verisa's. And things... I unfortunately was out gathering ore in the mountains, and like, really, the most qualified people to have handled the situation would have been me or Mad Marchmain, and Mad Marchmain left for Gate that morning. He's like, and I was out gathering ore in the mountains. I didn't return until this was already well underway. Just as I've been told, he took his hostages, and things went sour. Quickly, it looked like he was going to lose control of the situation, and he pulled some kind of wand from his belt, and he let loose a fireball into his hostages. Poor Jolvo was little more than a charred skeleton, as I understand it. The other hostages that were close enough were left in critical condition. The giant skull caught fire, burned to the ground, took less than 15 minutes. The fire spread to the forest, and that's everything you see out there.
Okay.
A few days passed after all of that. Bior took charge of the efforts to stop the fires, help us rebuild. I believe you met Anton Hainsley, the cleric.
Yeah. Yes.
He ran into the burning giant skull to pull as many people out as he could, and he was. By the time I arrived back in town, he ran in one last time. He was already badly burned. He ran in to pull out the last person left alive inside, and he stumbled out and died in front of me. So I was able to bring him back, revivify. But I was able to bring him back, but only just. And everything. He's going to be disfigured for life. There's nothing any of us can do about that. He will have terrible burns if he survives the next few days. I'm trying to think. Everything's happened so quickly. Poor Maleko didn't survive the fire.
No!
He was the last one after Anton wasn't able to get him out, and I wasn't able to save him. Eliam Wardre, the wizard, he died in the fire as well.
Oh no.
But after all of that, Bior took charge of the efforts to stop the fires, help rebuild, and that's when trees attacked. Trees came from the forest, led by... I didn't recognize it, but Bior told me in the last few moments that I saw him. He's missing, by the way.
Because there's not enough going on right now.
She says he yelled out that it was a treant.
Ooh.
And that I've had the chance to go look up treants in Eliam's what's left of Eliam's library. A good number of his books were destroyed when the fire spread to his shop before we were able to stop it, but I was able to find some information on treants. Nature guardians, not ordinarily aggressive, but perhaps the fire set them off. A treant and a number of trees. The trees have been patrolling the town ever since, but the treant left only a few hours after the attack began. We don't know where Bior is. Varisa's terribly worried. One of the times that I had magic to spare, she had me cast Sending. There was no response.
None?
No response. I assume that I felt it reach him. He's alive, but wherever he is, he wasn't conscious, I assume. Unable to respond.
We can work with alive.
Verisa is hanging by a thread, which is unfortunate because the town is hanging by Verisa. Bior disappeared around the time. We haven't seen... I don't believe you ever met Misha Sayward.
Misha.
She was a wizard for hire. She trained with Eliam frequently.
We may have met her once. She may have come into the shop.
Yeah, I believe you guys just sort of passed her by. I didn't really speak to her.
Yeah, it's the name that stood out to me.
Bior was very concerned a couple of days after Galdrin's outburst, before any of this happened. If your gnome friend that you rescued from the hobgoblins, Arla, I believe her name was.
Yeah.
Says she disappeared somewhere during that time. Bior was the only one who really made much of an effort to try to get to know her, so he was very worried about it when she disappeared. Verisa and I and Aida and Marinde have been using Wind Mansion as a makeshift hospital for the wounded.
I was going to ask about his daughters if they're still okay. It's good to hear.
Kona, what was her name? The wolf woman that she...
Yes.
Kona.
Yeah, she left town once it seemed like town was going to be in a stable place after Galdrin's attack. She wasn't around when the trees attacked.
That's too bad.
And I'm trying to think if there's anything else she would know to tell you here. Yeah, she says the trees, if they catch anyone in the streets, they will beat them, chase them down until they go into a building. Oddly, once they enter a building, the trees could easily break through the walls, but they seem to ignore them after that.
Interesting.
Says, at this point, we're getting close to town. We're going to need to make a quiet approach.
Where has Tedric been in all of this?
Oh, Tedric Wynn. He's in the wind. He disappeared the same day that Galdrin went mad. Tedric left town. Someone saw him carrying a bag, and that was the last we've seen of him. That was before Galdrin went mad. He didn't seem to have any interest in helping his brother. He left. But yeah, at this point you have to practically squeeze in the space between trees to make it anywhere now.
Jeez.
And
that's why I hate trees.
She says we're approaching from the south, so we will be able to reach Wind Mansion fairly quickly, but we should still be quiet. We don't want to attract the attention of the trees.
Can I pass without a trace?
Yes, please.
You can.
Mm-hmm.
I am not super stealthy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm stealthy, but I'm not super stealthy.
Yeah.
That's a plus 10.
Yeah.
Plus 10 to your
Stealth check.
And it's good you did that, because Tathael rolled for crap on her stealth check.
And Samace is in the bag of holding, so we don't have to worry about him.
Well, after we get to where we're going, we'll...
Yeah.
I had to use the really big dice to roll for stealth.
Yeah, you do notice that you have ordinarily seen Dogri in at least partial plate armor. She is wearing lighter, quieter leather armor at the moment because she doesn't want to make a lot of noise.
Okay.
36 for mouse.
Whoa! I was going to brag about my 27 over here, but...
You said 36? I get.
Stealth is meant to be power.
I got 22.
I got 33.
Nice.
25 for Jesu.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys are able to make it into town very quietly. You can see that the growth in town is less than it is around. There are still a few stationary trees, but off in the distance you kind of just hear these thudding footfalls of as you see these huge trees that are faintly humanoid in structure walking through the town. Some of them have several arms. Some of them are holding large staffs made out of
Themselves.
what appears to have been like fallen trees that they refined into staffs. Or staves, if you prefer.
Staves. Depends on which accent you're using.
So you are able to sneak past them into the Wynn Mansion, where you are greeted by the Quarry Bright daughters, Aida and Marinde. They say, it's like, oh, it's good to see you safe, and it's good to see you here.
I kneel down and give both a big hug.
And I hug them after.
Yeah, they hug everyone in turn. And just not far past them, further in, you see Verisa, who is looking much more worn than you have ever seen her. She's always seemed pretty put together, and she looks like she is just barely getting by right now.
I'm just gonna run and hug her.
Okay. She hugs you tightly, and she says, "Welcome back, dear. Glad to see that. Where's your Warforged?"
Oh!
Oh.
Yeah, we might want to get
nervous.
him out.
He was gonna, cause some noise.
Yeah, she
Hey,
nods.
run!
Like, set the bag of holding down, and he just kind of like lifts his head up out of it. Like, and she kind of chuckles at that, and there's a strain in the laugh, but it's a genuine laugh, probably the first one she's had for a while. And she says, "Well, I don't know what any of this means. I don't begin to know how to solve it. But I am grateful that you've arrived. We tried to send word to the hobgoblins to see if they could assist, but unfortunately, like, the only way we can do that is by trying to send a messenger. None of us have personally met with them.
I happen to have a necklace that connects me with the Emperor of the Hobgoblins, so that won't be a problem. All I have to do is focus on my necklace, and then
their help would be appreciated.
Okay.
But perhaps you should hold on to that. For the time being, we will decide if it's prudent. I'm very concerned about Bior. He knew more about treants than I did. He encountered some of them in his younger years before he and I met. I never ran into any of them. I have no knowledge of them beyond what Dogri found in Eliam's library.
Hey, since we're in the Wynn Mansion, can I run down and see if the library has treants?
There's a library here.
Yeah, you could run down there and check into it.
Basement,
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to tell everyone, but
hideout.
Yeah.
Who has the best book searching?
oh, totally me.
I've got pretty good skills too.
I'll just grab Rin by the arm and be like, hey, come on, let's go find a book.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, you guys can head down there, and let's see. Yeah, Verisa, to anyone who's left. Well, Verisa would probably actually stop Zafine, and she comes up to Zafine and she kind of pulls you aside privately. And she just says, forgive me. You perhaps don't need more of a burden than all of this will already be, but I just need to speak to someone.
Speak your mind.
With my husband missing, Maleko and Jolvo dead, and friends for years. I've known Jolvo as long as we'd been here in Becksload, Maleko almost as long. They're not the only ones dead, but they were ones that were closest to me. My home and place of business burned down. The forest around the town is either on fire or hostile. Just actively attacking us. The town is counting on me to hold them together, and I don't know what to do. I'm afraid I am running out of the strength that they need from me.
You've held here. Let us take strong front of action. You stand firm here, and we will do everything in our power. Bior and to put back, and not back. Things will never be the same, but be able to find a way strong and well from here.
Alright, I will say, make a persuasion check with advantage. Just to see how well your comforting words.
I was wondering if my emissary of peace might be applicable.
Wow.
So...
Roll one more time, take the highest of the two.
Oh, yeah. That's not a bad roll.
That was a good roll.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a good roll.
Let's take that one.
Yes, we'll take 15
Okay, I'll be right back.
plus 8
Nice.
is, what, 23?
Yeah. She seems strongly comforted by your words and your assurances, and she kind of regathers her composure a little bit. She still looks very stretched thin, but it is... she looks less on the verge of tears than she did a moment ago, and is...
I overheard the last half of the conversation, and I walk up behind Barisa and say, "Let us be your strength." Or let me be your strength, you know, type of thing.
Yeah. She gives you an appreciative smile, and then she excuses herself and goes to direct some of the people that are headed off towards the sort of makeshift hospital bit. They've got a lot of the beds lined up with wounded.
Can I say one more thing before she goes off?
Sure.
Marisa, in this moment, we have a form of peace and order. We can see things now, and the coming time before us is not known to us, but we will find a way and make it through a better place.
She grasps your hands and looks into your eyes and says, "Thank you. Mommy? Your assistance will be exactly what we need." And she then excuses herself to... I guess I gave you advantage on that. From Emissary of Peace, you should have gotten advantage on it anyway, but...
Okay.
Double advantage.
Yeah.
You can now roll twice. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Yeah, there are a few rooms in the mansion that are just lined with beds full of the wounded. Some of them look fairly severely burned. Some of them look like they have been beaten bloody. It's been a rough time.
While everyone else goes around downstairs, I want to go around and use my healing and like bring the most severely wounded about halfway out of their things. And I don't know what the numbers is, but I want to bring them out of the worst of the healing, the worst.
Yeah, there are dozens of people that are pretty badly wounded. You can but even a little bit, even a hit point or two will go a pretty long way for helping them out. So
I have 60. I mean, bring around like at least 2 as far as that'll go, and then more on those that are severely, like the fellow who was revivified. Give him 2.
Yeah. Okay. Ainsley is definitely in bad shape. When you see him, he is almost unrecognizable. His face is badly burned. He has no hair left, and probably won't ever be able to have hair again. He was only in his late 20s. He was a handsome kid, a little awkward, but now he's in pretty bad shape, and he's going to have severe scarring from this. And magical healing, if people had enough magical healing to offer him early on, he might have avoided the bulk of the scarring, but nobody had that degree of magical healing to offer. Dogry could only do so much. He's a cleric. He had already spent most of his own healing magic rescuing people from the giant's skull while it was. So
This is the guy who was lovesick when we met first.
Yeah, that's the one. And he's kind of coming in and out of consciousness. He keeps just sort of muttering to himself, and as you listen, you can tell that it is almost just it's half-conscious prayers to Parathon, the god that he serves. And
how much?
Make a perception check for me, since you're.
Yeah.
What's that?
I rolled a 2. No, so I got a 3.
Yeah. Yeah, you're having a hard time making out most of the words that he's saying.
Could I check also?
If you're still here, if you haven't already gone off to...
I was going to say, I thought you went down to the library.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Jisoo took me to the library. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not super religious or very perceptive, but I could probably help out.
Yeah, if you want, you can make a perception check as well if you're hanging out with Zafine.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of assist Zafine and do as much war combat, triage, medical, whatever I can, type stuff.
Yeah, you'd have some experience with that, and with some basic healing stuff just from your time in the wilds and with the dwarves and whatnot.
You want perception check or?
Yeah.
13. Yeah.
Nice.
Not bad.
So you kind of lean in to just out of curiosity to see if you can hear a little better, and you can tell that Anton is actually sort of half-consciously. He's not even really awake for this, but he is half-consciously praying for Parathon to help the other wounded. He's not even worried about himself.
Aww.
Hey, how much healing does Tathael have? Because she's probably not going to come with us.
Yeah, Tathael also has some healing. She's going around and helping out as well. And between the three of you, between like, just sort of Tamati's basic knowledge of how, like, kind of dealing with severe wounds and your healing and Tathael's healing. You're able to bring a lot of the people that are here at least up to a point where they are not miserable. They're still going to have some recovery time, but they're not actively in horrible pain. Even Anton is.
Do you mean Ainsley?
Anton Hainsley, yes, is his name. Like that.
Oh, Anton Hainsley. Okay.
And even Anton is able to kind of relax a little bit more, and it looks like between what both of you have done, you've probably been able to further limit the scarring that will take place. It'll still be pretty severe, but it will. And so, those of you who went down to the library, make an investigation check, and Rin, make yours with advantage because of your researcher feature.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I mentioned to Tamati after we kind of finished, I'm and
21.
Nice.
I'm thinking, I'm like, I wonder if you could design tattoos to go with those scars. to help
16.
mollify their appearance.
I could, design tattoos for his face type of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Easily do
something to honor his sacrifice.
Yeah.
Easily do
Anton,
that.
they've been removed where possible, but you do remember that he had some piercings throughout his ears and on his face. That a couple of them, it looks like right now, without actually operating to remove them, they are like fused into his face because of the burns. But he is.
Oh.
They removed most of them for the sake of caring for him. So.
Yeah, we could easily design something.
Yeah, you guys down there in the library, you make your way down, and you begin looking through. You find some information on treants. You know that treants they're strongly magical creatures. They're very aligned with nature. They often serve as guardians of forests wherever they can be found. And they're good creatures who usually interact pretty well with the other races of the world. They have a little bit of a harder time with dwarves than with most other races, because dwarves are very fond of axes, and they're very fond of like cutting down trees to burn their forges. And those things are just very alien to treants, and it makes it harder for them to relate with dwarves than with other races. They especially have a hard time with anyone that has any kind of like alignment with fire. When they don't get along well almost ever with fire genasi as a result, things like that. But they because they are very protective of the forests that they watch over. And so you have to assume, given all of this, that probably this treant that led the attack, they can animate trees. They can take ordinary trees and they can temporarily animate them to make them into sort of like servants or warriors to fight alongside them. And that's probably what's patrolling the town right now, are trees animated by a treant.
I know it's probably a given, but is fire a weakness to them?
Yeah.
Yes. They do not do well with fire. You have to assume, given what it says in these books, that treants are almost never evil. When they are evil, it is usually some form of corruption that is taken root in the land and has turned them dark in one way or another. Usually they are good creatures who just seek to maintain the balance of nature. They are especially, they like elves in particular, because wood elves in particular are closer to nature. And
Oh Oh man.
So you have to assume that the fire, perhaps they, this treant, assumed that it was a malicious attack and not an accident. Because it mentions that, a treant's fury can be terrible, but they are not normally aggressive to people unless there is some cause for it.
I wonder if in Lake, April Lake, trees getting left there, if that might have put the tree on edge a bit. I don't know.
I didn't catch all of that. That was a little quiet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Yes.
Okay. I wonder if the trees getting leveled at Athorn Lake might have put him on edge, too, before this.
That's possible.
So I wonder if maybe the treant is holding Beor responsible somehow.
Yeah. Because where they don't get along with dwarves. And
Right?
dwarf.
Mm-hmm. And it was his tavern that the fireball was where it was started, where the fire originated from, was the tavern.
Yeah.
But what would a treant do?
Yeah. Yeah. Go up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good.
All right, so...
We don't have a druid.
No, but we have a half-wood elf. Very good at supposedly talking to people.
All right, so
She's
you
much better at it than
return
I am.
to the rest of the mansion, and you relay this information. And Verisa, during the discussions, says, well, the treant approached from the south and returned to the south, so wherever it went, it is still out there in the woods. I don't know where Beor went, but I would not be surprised if he, with his experience with treants, went to try to speak to it. It would be entirely possible that he is there somewhere.
Well, what do we think, guys?
That's where we should start.
Let's go check.
Go find the treant and try to speak with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe if we run into an animal, Tamaki can do speak with animals.
Yeah. See if we can.
I don't know. With a bunch of trees walking around, there's not going to be a whole lot.
It's getting late on into the evening now, since by the time you approached, it was starting to become evening, and now it's...
So perhaps we rest for the night and try and...
Yeah. Strike out in the morning. That's a good idea. I'll make some soup to pass around to all the people who are well enough to take some.
Okay. And yeah, the night passes. Everyone is grateful for your help with providing food and with...
I'm helping Zafine to pass it out. And I also want to help Barisa with anything that she needs, because she's had a hard time as of late.
Yeah, she's very grateful for any assistance you can offer. And Let's see. I'd say that Tathael probably during all of these conversations is like these fires seem to be raging very, very hard out in the forest for a place that was, when we left, soaking wet. There were rains almost constantly throughout all our travels, and Dogri says, yeah, about 2 days after you left, it's been sunny completely here since.
Mm-hmm.
The storm seemed to have followed you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Not surprising.
That doesn't surprise me either.
I'm just gonna be standing like second floor, looking out a window toward where the giant skull is, watching just watching the movement of the trees.
Yeah. Yeah, you see trees of several types that of a few different sizes, just kind of lumbering. Pun. Lumbering.
Oh,
not intentional.
That was
not
beautiful.
intentional.
That was well, the best kind.
Kind of lumbering.
It was like, slowly making their way past each other out in the night. You can, even from here, you can faintly feel the vibration in the ground of each footfall as these huge, each one must weigh thousands of pounds. These are very large trees. And
like house height trees, like forest full trees, or
some of them are about the height of the houses here. Some of them are. There's one out there that is probably 50, 60 feet tall. It's there. It would appear the largest one that you can see from here appears to have a trunk that is probably a good 10 feet in diameter.
Jeez.
At least it's a very large tree.
It's a redwood.
I wouldn't try your luck, Damati. I think it'd fall on you and kill you.
Basic egg.
Yeah, so you while away the evening helping as much as you can. And
When everyone's asleep, I work on my gloves.
okay.
I'm kind of like I'm having a hard time sleeping because I'm thinking about what I read about the Treant and how they like favor wood elves because of their relationship with nature and kind of what that might mean for Rin and like future possible negotiations.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, hey David, could I run back to Emmaus and check things?
Could you what?
Just really quick, check the library for something.
Sure.
Could Emmaus check if there's any on, because he does like those rune bullets.
Any information on what?
Runes, because he does like those bullets.
Sure, he can have him make an investigation check.
Please.
We should
17.
also pull out the clock man and have him be helping with the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Architus does whatever he can. He just kind of follows orders.
Yeah. Follow around Verisa and help her with whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dottie, take this down.
Yeah.
Dodie.
It is Dottie, isn't it?
We haven't gotten to
We haven't got there yet.
So.
Oh, it's hilarious. You're gonna hate him when you find him.
We have to disguise Emmaus one of these times.
Yeah. Yeah. Sameus is going through some different books on language and such, looking for information on magical runes, when he opens a book and begins to flip through pages, and out of some of the pages, the small form of a paper dragon, like, just sort of flits off. Pardon me. and Heduan,
It's our old friend, the dragon.
Yeah, and Heduan, who you last saw here, in fact.
Yeah.
He says, I'm surprised to see you here. This was the library I met you in last time, Metal Man.
Oh. Hello. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you as well. It's been some time since I visited here, but I wondered if there might be some information that would be of use to me. Anything in particular you're looking for?
So I'm with Samesu. Well, I'm looking on information on a rune.
Ask about the typhoon too.
And my friend here was looking for something on if there's any ancient monk.
Ancient what?
Monk. Just monk lore, book of techniques or something.
I see. And
anything magic that looks interesting, because he just got magic and he's kind of like
yeah.
Nothing about it.
Yeah. And Heduan says, well, from what I know of the knowledge available in this particular library, I have doubts that you will find anything of value relating to your rune work. However, I might direct you to a library in Ariantan in Oromir. You may be more likely to find useful information there. It would be a considerable journey, but it would be a possibility you might wish to look into. As for lore relating to monastic orders and such things, this is once again unlikely to be a particularly useful resource. You would be more likely to find information on that at perhaps the library of an actual monastery, or perhaps in Gate or Kaidan. Or Yadola. If you travel to Yadola in Shroka, the great library there will have information nearly any topic that might interest you.
And I believe that the half-elf wanted to talk. I don't know what, though. If you're going to be around, I'll let her know.
What?
Didn't you mention you wanted to ask?
Did I mention that? I don't remember that.
You've been rewatching episodes.
If I did, I don't remember it now.
I think it was like a Jamie or something.
Yes.
Click.
Yes. Thank you, Chris. I did want to ask about Jamie.
But thank you for your help. Are you going to be here long? Or?
No, I think my time here is done for this visit. I will likely be found next in Yadola. You, depending on if you travel to Yadola, you may catch me there. Otherwise, you may find me in libraries. Anywhere, really.
Should I just call your name? Or...
I'm not a dog. I'm not going to come when you call.
I mean, somebody. with the utmost respect.
If I am present, then if you speak my name, I may hear it. If I am not, I may at least hear echoes of it, and might try to make my way a bit closer to you if it is convenient to. However,
Right. Well, thank you for your time.
My quest for knowledge leads me where it may. I cannot claim that I will be particularly stable in any one location for any given amount of time. But perhaps we will cross paths again.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. It's wonderful.
Good luck to you. And he kind of folds back up into a smaller form and disappears into another book.
Later on, he kind of passes around and says, "Oh, we met the dragon again.
Oh, how was he?
He was good. I thought you wanted to talk to him, but he had to leave. Roughly.
Oh, well, maybe I'll catch him next time.
Sounds good." So, anyone else doing anything, or shall we?
I'm ready to kill something.
Unless anyone else has anything to do, then you guys tie up your activities for the evening, and
We plan at dawn.
yes,
At dawn, we
and you rest, and in the morning you can be on your way. So
Let's do that.
Doggery says, I would accompany you if there was not such need of me here.
Yeah.
She says, I suspect that the wounded will continue to need more of my care, and that Verisa will need my assistance to keep things running as smoothly as possible here. But
How far is the alchemy?
the alchemy shop?
Yeah. We might want to check if we could get our hands on a little bit more alchemy fire.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember where in Becksload.
If it's like super like street guarded, then let's not worry about it. But
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Some of Becksload did, especially along the southern side, certain buildings did burn down entirely after the fire spread from the giant skull.
we'll make this easier. Is the alchemist lady there?
She is not. No.
We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, let me just check something real quick.
Just figure for fighting evil trees.
He's got to check his map of Becksload.
Yeah.
So cool. You have
You gonna play on that map?
Yeah.
We could scan it into the computer and then you'd have it.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works with this, but
Where is the map of Becksload?
probably near the beginning.
That's what I thought, but it's not. It doesn't seem to be there. It should be either a page before or a page after that section. And that is just the Wing Mansion map.
It would have been before that. Well,
I'm-
maybe not necessarily in your planning, though. I don't know when you planned out.
I don't know where it is. Looking at the numbering,
Okay. Don't worry about it.
Looking at the numbering,
Okay,
I think that the alchemy shop / apothecary was in the path of the fire and is probably gone.
Okay, cool. Then don't worry about
Because
it. Let's go kill stuff.
looking at the numbering, I think it's along the south side and very likely in the path of the fire.
Okay.
All right, so you guys can probably, since you were just heading out into the forest, you can avoid a stealth check as long as you just kind of keep an eye on when the trees are not over here and just make your way into the forest without a further
Sounds good.
stealth check.
I would love to be frugal with my key.
Yeah.
But by the way, 27. I'm impressed, Daniel. That was better than mine.
Yeah, you know. I'm good at it.
So you.
And it was just now that I realized I have the Cloak of Elvenkind. Is it advantage on stealth checks?
If you're attuned to it.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, and if
I got
you
it
put
first
the hood
night.
up-
Yeah.
if you put the hood up, then that you get advantage
Yeah.
on stealth checks. To...
That's what I was double checking.
I
think it takes
want one.
Awesome.
Let's see.
All right, headed toward the south.
All right. So there are.
I'm putting my siege maul away and pulling out my new battle axe, my great axe.
Maybe axes aren't the best thing for the trees to see.
Hey, if a tree comes after me, it's gonna be my best friend.
Yeah, I will say before you leave, while you are waiting for an opening when none of the trees are going to be in your way and be likely to see you, you see a familiar hunter he was the one who was he reported
the hobgoblins
to you. He's speaking to Verisa about something, and she brings him over and she says, this man has some information that might be useful to you. And he says, right, so go far enough to the southwest. There's a section of Athorn Woods. Even the woodcutters, the hunters, the foragers, none of them will go. We leave it alone. Athorn Deeps. It says it's very, very old forest, and says we always thought it was just a story, but one of the reasons people don't go there is some of the older hunters say that they heard noises from in there, saw the trees moving around. So I figure that might be the place to look.
Thank you. This is very useful information.
Oh, by the way, the hobgoblins, totally good guys.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
He says,
True.
so I hear. That'll take some getting used to.
Oh, by the way, I put on my for like we left and stuff. I had put on my disguise because underground elves might not be smiled upon either.
Yeah.
In tune with nature. Cool.
Yeah.
Go to the Athorn Deeps.
Absolutely.
All right. So you begin making your way down southward into the woods, heading in the general direction that you were told Athorn Deeps could be found. And you can see that you're going to have to pass through some sections of burned forest to get there, likely. There are big swaths of the forest that have been just completely burned out. They're just husks of trees standing. And you make your way for probably half an hour southward before you come to a spot where there is a path. There is one path that is leading towards Athorn Deeps, and another path that leads off into the more burnt sections. I need everybody to make a perception check here. Tathiel is not with you, by the way. She is staying.
I was gonna say if she was, wondering if she was staying there.
Yeah, Tathiel
Makes sense. She would be.
Yeah.
Perception?
Yes.
I got an 8.
22.
22.
I am hypersensitive right now. Like,
Yeah.
something's gonna die. Mostly because I'm like, okay, do I need to put up my Cloak of Elvenkind? Gonna wait for a
11.
minute. What'd you say?
11 for Samaeus and 16 for Jesu.
Okay.
Nice.
What did Rin get? Did you tell me? And did I? Are you muted again? I can't hear you.
Yep.
Let me...
Mute.
Yeah, probably for when I was coughing. 16.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, none of you but Tamati passed this. Like Tamati.
Yeah, take it!
You guys are lucky that Tamati got this one. Tamati, you see that some of the pieces of wood along the path that leads further into this area are broken off, and they were broken off after the burn happened. Something passed by here after the burn was done and broke some of the So somebody's been this way since the burn happened. You can see unburnt core inside some of these broken off branches. That
all right, stop.
You would assume, looking at the it's in a path. Someone was marking their way. Essentially, through the forest, they were marking their way through the burnt forest so they'd know which way they came.
Wonder what time frame Bjorn disappeared. Was it after the trees came through, or was it before?
It was when the trees started coming in.
That's when he disappeared. Okay.
Which would have been post
that was
fire.
the last that he was seeing.
So if you want to follow that, you can make a survival check to follow that, or if you would rather just head for Aethorn Deeps, you can do that.
I'm going to ask everybody else. It looks like there's a path here. Path, which could find somebody at the end of it that might be in trouble, or are we going straight to the source of the problem?
I think we should follow the lead.
Okay.
I was going to say, yeah, because for all we know, Bjorn's at the end.
Okay.
And we're pretty sure that's the best.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Hard though.
I'm going to see if I can track this sucker down.
Yeah, pretty good.
Natural 20!
Yeah.
Yes!
Oh, I'm so happy! Oh!
So you practically run, you barely have to look. You can just out of the corners of your eyes, you keep seeing, you're so attuned to this setting right now that you can just see out of the corners of your eyes where these limbs have been broken off. The rest of you have a little bit of a hard time keeping up with Tamati just sort of bolting through the forest. What's left of it, at least. And
Oh,
Right.
shoot, I thought of something I could have done while we
kicking
were
up ash
marching.
behind
Sorry.
you. as-
I'm not even
You're-
hardly glancing behind me. I'm just going.
Yeah. As you're going along, you eventually find alongside these in the ash there are some footprints that you 2 pairs of footprints that are heading off this way.
Oh.
And it leads you towards a section of the forest that is more recently burnt. It's still smoking here, and it's a little warmer here. It's you're not in danger, but it's not super comfortable either. It is a little harder to breathe with all the smoke in the air. And
I'm going to kind of slow down and wait for everybody to catch up. Flip up my hood of Elvenkind. Kind of use it as a smoke screen a little bit.
all right.
Just in case.
You make your way further in, and somewhere in the distance, you hear and almost feel these footfalls, kind of like the ones in town.
Oh dear.
And
Sweet.
let me see here. So you see just sort of peering around one of the larger husks of a tree up ahead, you see the very smudged and kind of terrified face of a halfling girl in her early 20s who you recognize as Misha Sayward.
Oh, yes!
And
She's our magician friend.
Misha sees you and recognizes you, and she kind of quietly is like, over here, quickly.
I kind of motion everybody else and just
I'm going
quietly go
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
as quickly and quietly as possible.
I flip up my Elvenkind hood too.
All right.
Yeah!
Yeah, Misha is, she's a little tall for a halfling, unusually tall for a halfling. She...
Dire halfling.
Yeah, she pulls you over into a section of trees that are or husks of trees at least, that are close enough together that they're sort of forming a natural little stand that she can hide in. And leaning up against one of the trees, unconscious, is the pretty badly burned form of Bior. He looks like he is in pretty bad shape. He's not in his...
I rush over and start healing him.
Okay. He's not in as bad shape as, say, Anton was, but he is, he's seen some trouble recently. And, as you run over and begin to pour some healing energy into him, he, comes to consciousness and he kind of, like, gasps, is like, oh, well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
So are you.
Looks like you picked up some new scars. You're fighting without me? What's going on?
It's been a time. It has been a time. Speak quietly if it's still close.
Yeah.
And Misha says it's still close.
Ooh, hey, there's 8 of us. Could we divide the 8? Maybe just so we could all get one, since there's 8 of us here. In case.
8 healing potions?
3, 4,
Yeah.
5.
There's 6, and then Beor and the halfling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Good plan.
Might just come in handy.
Bior says, so things have been a bit mad here. I suppose you've probably heard that by now.
Yeah, we caught wind of it.
We've heard a few stories.
Yeah, he says, after Arla disappeared and the Treant attacked, I was worried about what was happening out here. So during the attack, I told Misha here to come along with me so we could get to the bottom of this. But it wasn't very long before we ran into that thing out there. The Treant was still in Becksload attacking, at least the one that was there. It stalked off towards that side of the woods. As I understand it, not long after. But the thing we ran into, I've never seen anything like that. It was. I think it might have been a Treant once. It's it's on fire.
Oh.
Well.
It's blackened, on fire. Seems mindless, just running around, burning things, burning the forest. We tried to hide, but it caught sight of us, and it breathed fire and cinders at us. Took some pretty good burns, as you can see.
Yeah, it's very nice.
And some had a hard time breathing. The cinders was choking. Misha had to drag me away over here, and last thing I remembered for a couple of days, and Misha jumps in and she says, she's like, I have no kind of healing magic. I've barely been able to keep him stable. She says, I doubt if you hadn't made it that he would have made it much longer than another hour or so.
Well, I'm glad we came this way.
Yeah.
We're about to go another different direction, so...
We tossed the 2 extra healing potions.
No.
Perfect.
So they can either both have one or Beor.
Yeah. Bior says, how long has it been? And Misha says, it's been a week and a half maybe now. Since all this.
Jeez.
Wow.
And he's just like, oh.
Wow.
Well, might have died. Varisa will probably still kill me anyway. It's just like,
She is a bit on edge.
She might give you a kiss first, but then she's definitely going to kill you.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Kiss your corpse.
She'll slap you first and then she'll kiss you.
That's what he said, but
Yeah. So I'm going to look at Misha and
I
say...
guess both apply.
Exactly. I'm gonna kill you, bring you back to life, kill you again. I'm gonna look at Misha and say, okay, how close is this thing? Like, what direction is it? I mean, this is probably the source of the corruption, according to what these guys have read about in the library that we were at. The treants are naturally good. I mean, they're just here to protect the forest, unless they're corrupted.
His eyes. There's certainly something happening. It's whatever happened to this one. It's bad news now. But there was another treant, and it was the one that attacked the town. It didn't seem anything like this. As far as I could tell, it was an ordinary treant, as ordinary as any treant is, really.
Sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I didn't get a chance to speak to it. Not sure it would have been terribly inclined to listen to me, which is part of why I brought Misha along, in case there was anything.
I was slightly worried about you.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I said slightly.
I was terrified. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I knew you would take off after this.
But,
you didn't wait for me. That's the biggest.
I figured you were on the other side of the country. Probably might be a little bit of a wait.
That's true.
Got to do something.
That's true.
Maybe,
Glad we found
maybe
you.
next time, though, I might want to tell Varisa where I'm going before I head off.
She would appreciate that.
I'm sure she would.
I didn't think anything terrible was going to happen, but, more fool me, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all right. At least we found you. That's what we're...
This thing, the burning one, it's off not far to the west. I wouldn't recommend picking a fight with it. It's it's a very dangerous thing.
So what are we supposed to do?
I wonder if this other treant, do you remember how thick it was around the town? And it seems like the trees that were animated are trying to not outright destroy the people, but keep them indoors. I wonder if this treant, in its own way, is trying to protect the people of Becksload. Keep them indoors, keep them in town, keep this other rogue burning treant, at least get a barrier between people and the town. I'm sure it could make its way in if it wanted to, but maybe this treant is trying to help Becksload.
It could be. It was when the attack first started. It was the treant wasn't pulling punches. I think at least a few people were probably killed before it left. But I don't know. Perhaps it thought better of it. Perhaps it found something out that it didn't know before.
Yeah.
Can't say I have the answers to that one. But
this treant probably does. I think we should go and see if we can find this treant.
Yeah, I wanted to do that anyway.
if you do, then be careful. It's treants want only the good of nature, but they can be dangerous if they're angry, and if they are under the impression that you're part of the problem, coming brandishing an axe or something, might be a little iffy about that. But if you lot are going to go off and do that, I think perhaps Misha and I might prefer to make it back to town.
I think that would be wise.
That would be for the best, I agree.
How long ago did you see the treant on fire?
And Misha says it was wandering around not far from here 10-15 minutes ago. It's very close.
Should we go after that treant, maybe? Everyone?
No, I don't think we should. We all burn.
It's gonna have to be stopped at some point, but I don't know. It might be best to find more help or find out more about it if we can.
Yeah, and if this other treant is truly trying to protect the forest, we may be able to enlist his aid in taking it down.
It's worth a try. You can certainly.
We're gonna call the hobgoblins for back.
We definitely can.
We could, if worst comes to worst, we definitely can.
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, thank you for your help. Sounds like I might not have made it.
Use that potion."
Says, "Oh, I'm starting to feel a bit thirsty. We'll see about that."
Maybe if you're more alive, Verisa will kill you less.
Or at least have a harder time killing you.
Works for
I reckon it'll be one of those things where you can't quite tell where the hug ends and the choke begins.
I expect nothing less.
Good luck to you, and come back to Becksload safe, will you?
You get there safe first, and we'll do our best.
I'll watch over him. Don't worry.
And he and Misha begin to make their way back towards Becksload.
And we go back.
Are we headed toward the Thorn?
We decide what we're gonna do.
We go back to looking for the treant, possibly in the Aethorn Deep.
Yeah, let's do that.
Which is east of here, right?
Yes.
As we sneak away from the fire.
Yeah.
Screaming.
Yeah.
I'm just gripping my axe with both hands, just wanting to turn around so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see nearby smoke, and you can hear the footfalls of it from somewhere not too far away.
Okay. It's right there! It's right there!
Not yet. Give it.
It's right there!
We'll get to it.
Just saying, if it's on fire, we have 8 pounds. My bad. Just saying.
You have what?
We have 8 pounds of gunpowder. Another bag and have Tamati throw.
Right there! Right there!
That's not going to anger any tree.
Yes!
Right?
I am so all for that.
It's on fire, so it's going to ignite. Worst case scenario, I could bamf a lightning bolt.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Just saying.
We scared an entire band of robbers with a still image of a miniature purple worm.
I don't know how many D6
Good encore.
That'll be something.
Let's keep that in. Let's remember that for
Let's
later.
keep that in
if
our
we
back
need to.
pocket.
Yes, yes.
Look at Tamati and say, sorry, man.
Just save it for later.
Yeah. Just hold on to that, just in case you need it.
just say, throwing that out there.
Yeah. See, I'm trying to figure out if you end up doing that, where there's a section of the Dungeon Master's Guide that would have some notes for how some explosives might work. That would be useful. Oh, there it is. I found the page for when I need it. In case I need it.
Right.
Not if. When.
In case I
How to
win.
blow up.
Yeah.
Or
How to blow up a flaming treant.
Fire in the hole.
Exactly.
All right, so yeah, you make your way through some of this burnt section of forest back towards the more intact sections of forest that are leading further towards where you were told Athorn Deeps could be found. And as you approach, you can definitely tell that it is older forest here. It is very, very old growth forest. Some of the trees here are the same size or larger than that one animated tree that had a 10-foot diameter trunk. They're very, very thick, very old trees. There is heavy moss growth. And you make your way through, attracting some attention from some of the local wildlife that catches sight of you. And
Tamati, you could talk to them.
It takes a couple minutes. Is it a minute or 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
That's what I thought.
Ritual for you is... Most rituals are 10 minutes, I believe. But...
Yeah, I was gonna say that takes a little time, but I can talk to him. Or do we want to just keep pushing forward? I sling my axe underneath my cloak of Elvenkind, just kind of.
It's a good idea.
Let's talk to the animals first.
Okay.
Hey, quick question: if you have 2 light hand axes, does that also work as the same kind of thing? Like,
if you have 2 light hand axes?
is it kind of like the tonfa where it's like you can use them like everything?
Yeah, you can still use them like just a normal weapon.
Yeah.
It's just 1d6 plus your efficiency bonus.
Yeah, they don't give you any AC boost like the tonfa do, but
yeah,
that was my next question. Okay, so I continue.
Just a normal weapon.
Yeah. So you gather around Tamati as he begins to assemble the pieces of the ritual that attune him to nature so that he can speak to the animals, and you spend a few minutes working on it. And there are a few animals nearby that are kind of warily keeping an eye on you. They are not approaching or running away. They kind of see you and are trying to mostly maintain distance. There's a deer. There is a black bear that is like not a huge bear, but a bear that is kind of keeping an eye on us. Probably a few birds that are keeping their distance up in the trees.
I'm probably gonna lean toward more talking to the. I was gonna say bear first, but then I realized I've got the stag ability, so I'm like, let's talk to the deer first. Really, a little bit more right now.
Yeah. So, what are you going to?
We do.
That's
If I could talk to the animal, yeah.
Only I was a bard.
Yeah.
Inspiration on my dice rolls, yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call out to the deer and just gonna ask him if he's seen a large moving tree and which direction it went. Start with that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll think up something else.
The deer says the great tree is like further in this way, and kind of indicates a slight adjustment to the direction you've been moving. You were moving in generally the right direction, but just kind of like a little bit off to one side.
I'm gonna ask: is the forest changed recently? Like, yeah.
Much of the forest has burned, and some of the forest followed the great tree into where the humans live, and then the great tree returned.
what's the what's the attitude of the great tree? Is it angry? Is it peaceful? Is it? It's, I know deers aren't super smart, but how do you someone
You're talking to it, so
I know, right? That's the worst part about it. Yeah, just kind of.
You're like 2 points smarter than the deer.
Don't worry about the deer.
The great tree is sad.
Okay, I can work with sad. As long as he's not angry, I can work with sad. Okay. So we found out more better direction as far as where he's going to be, kind of the attitude of the tree. I can't think of any other questions.
What has he seen the
burning tree?
The girl. No, the girl that
what's her face?
Went missing.
Arla.
Arla, yeah.
Arla.
I was like, I wrote it down, it's right there. No.
Yeah.
Why did I not write that down? Everybody else's name down there. Yeah, I'm gonna ask her if she's seen any humans come this direction.
I thought she was a
not a
halfling girl.
She's a no.
Or any
Oh no,
bipedals.
humanoid.
I swear I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, if she's seen any humans,
People.
humanoids.
It says
Yeah, it's right there. It's right.
it's like one of the two-legged kind came through, like wandering towards where the great tree lives before the fires.
Here I go. Short, tall.
Sure. One of the
So
little
she's
ones.
Perfect. So it probably is our. Okay.
Interesting that she left before.
Okay. I'm just gonna thank the deer for his time.
Okay. Yeah, shortly after closing up the conversation, the deer runs off, disappearing into the forest.
Okay. Is the bear still close by, or did he take off?
The bear's still kind of hanging around cautiously.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of ask him just similar kind of questions, just more verify the deer story type of thing.
Yeah.
If he's ventured closer to the tree, if he knows any more details.
It says, the bear says, the great tree has... The great tree came back because there was something it didn't want to leave alone. Not with the other great tree burning.
Okay. That's helpful. So it's gonna be somewhat sad, but in a protective state. That's bad combination.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can still work with that. It's not angry in an aggressive state. Protecting.
Not angry.
Yeah, exactly. Mama bear, baby bear type thing.
Still volatile.
Still volatile. Yep, exactly. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all the questions I have as far as I can think of. Yeah, that's all I can think of.
Okay.
Has Loki been re-summoned?
Resummoned.
Didn't he get like poof a while ago?
No, that was Nip.
That was Nip.
Okay, so Loki.
I don't actually have to summon Loki. I just wait 5 minutes and he comes back to me.
Oh, that's cool.
Target practice.
Yeah.
No. Bad idea.
Like, yes, please
What'd you say?
anger the servant of the goddess of death. I'm sure that will go over well.
Kill my bird, I get advantage on you for the rest of the day.
I want my bird.
I want my bird.
Okay. So I relayed a message. It's a slightly different course than where we're at. He came back. The general feel of the great tree is more of a sadness than anything. But he came back to protect something because he didn't trust the other tree to be alone. So and apparently Arla has been around here somewhere recently. So let's head to the tree. It's nice knowing that the tree is not angry at the moment.
Yeah.
But I definitely
Axes.
I readjust everything so all my axes are behind my book and everything else. So, because I have several.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna start head toward the tree again. Just
Okay.
paying attention to what's around.
All right. So the further you make your way into the Aethorn Deeps, the more ancient and overgrown everything seems. Hang on a second, we're going to...
Change the music. I want the other music back.
And you pass by a number of trees that look like they have been here for, like, if you had to guess the age of them, you would say that they are at least 3,000-4,000 years old. This is
Trees.
This is some of the oldest forest you've likely ever seen. And there is so much foliage overhead that it dims almost to, like, it, even though you're still relatively early in the day, it is dark enough in here that it seems almost like late evening. And you, at one point, Jisu, as you are passing by one of these trees, you nearly trip and you reach out to steady yourself on a branch, and as you touch the branch, it feels a little like soft to you, and you hear a hiss and pull back, realizing that is not a branch, that's a snake. Like there is, and as your eyes are kind of beginning to adjust to the darkness that seems to have come on pretty suddenly, you can see that this snake was like a boa constrictor that's probably got a body about that thick.
Oh my
It just pulls itself up into the branch, and you see a faint glimmer of eyes looking down at you from up in the tree. Doesn't seem to be aggressive, but
it's Ka.
Trust in me.
Sorry, ruining the mood. Okay, here we go. Back to the game.
You make your way through, and after probably about half an hour of just wandering deeper and deeper into the woods, up ahead you see a pure white tree that is a little smaller than most of the huge ones around here. It is only maybe 2 or 3 feet in diameter. It seems to be glowing. It is giving off some light.
Is this a normal tree, or is there something archaic
not normal
going on?
You're still just approaching it, but if you want to, you could make an Arcana check to kind of see if you sense anything about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
make a check.
looking around to see if the Ent is around because
Nope.
this is probably what
Nothing.
he's.
I get nothing.
I close.
That's a nice tree.
Yeah. Since it likes elves, Jesu kind of raises his hands and say, "We in Elvish, we are here to offer the great tree.
Okay.
See if anything happens."
All right.
I'm scanning every tree I look at. I mean, everything I can.
And for the first time in the 3 or 4 weeks that everybody has known me, I pull back my hair.
Okay.
Holy crap, she's an elf!
So, Jesu, as you speak in Elvish, there is a huge cypress tree just off to your right that looks to be thousands of years old. And as you finish speaking those words in Elvish, eyes open in the trunk.
Ah!
And these eyes stare at you, and you see sort of forming from the trunk the rest of a face, and the cypress tree stands. And it is absolutely massive. It is, if you had to guess, the trunk of this thing would be good 15 feet in diameter. It's a very ancient tree, and
Jesu starts thinking about how much he misses the snake.
And it looks around at all of you, and it says,
"Why should I trust in those who bear fire?"
I'll just say we are the ones who helped fight against the destruction in Athorn Lake. If that helps.
And the treant just kind of stares at you.
Yeah.
I just hold out both my hands, say, we don't have fire. We are not the ones that set the forest on fire. We are here trying to make amends for what happened.
You were sent by those who sent fire into my forest.
No. We come to parley on behalf of the innocents who reside there.
Who were themselves victims of the offending sender of the fire.
And the one who used the fire has...
You cut out on that last part, Chris.
Oh. The one who started the fire, your forest and the people, was killed and taken care of for his crime.
There must be reparations for what has happened to my forest and to my groveling.
Groveling?
Perhaps your kind would have called him my brother.
Can we be...
Consumed by the flames. My brother died. Unfortunately, he was so tortured by the flames that his burning body yet walks, destroying more of all that we held dear.
I look at him and say, we are so lost. We too have lost many friends to the fire that was cast by that wicked man.
Can we be of aid to bring peace to you, to your forest, and to your brother?
Make a persuasion check.
29.
Yeah!
Bangarang! Yes.
Awesome.
Nat 20.
Roll good.
You guys have been getting like really good rolls at all the times that are most clutch, right? Like, so.
No way, it will come crashing down around us.
Yes.
Yeah, the treant looks around at all of you, and you kind of see something soften in its eyes, and it says,
If what you say is true, then the people of Becksload have paid their debts already. I am Fitzroy, guardian of these woods. My brother, Witherington, and I grew here, awakened here from simple trees, spent our wandering years together, but returned together to Athorn Woods. We had lived here protecting this forest for over 2,000 years. But this,
and he gestures to the glowing white tree.
the new tree, appeared here as if grown overnight several days ago. I sense intelligence within it. Perhaps it may awaken in time as a treant, but something seems different about this one.
So from what you read about treants, you would know that treants are awakened from ordinary trees, very old trees usually. Very old trees sometimes begin to develop a spark of intelligence that other treants and powerful druids can sense, and they will often guard that tree until its awakening comes. And so something is different here, but Fitzroy at least senses intelligence in this that is similar to a tree that is close to awakening. And Fitzroy turns back to you and says,
One of the trees destroyed in the fires was perhaps only weeks from awakening. My anger at the loss of such potential is what led me to attack with such ferocity. Punishment for the burning of the forest would still have been in order, regardless. However, the loss of a tree close to awakening is felt deeply. Almost as deeply as the loss of my groveling.
What can we do to help?
Unfortunately, my brother's body must be stopped before more of the forest is destroyed. However, what he has become is very dangerous and very powerful.
We've heard about him.
He is what mortals and those who are of your kind would refer to as undead. There are some forms of undead treants that are less powerful, but one that has returned from death by the touch of fire is more dangerous than anything known to our kind.
What was the name of the groveling again?
Widrington.
Woodrington.
One more time.
Widrington.
Widrington. Oh, I was so close.
I spelled Woodrington. Like wood.
Yeah.
Me too.
I was missing one D. Just one.
Yeah. Like I got these names from the scientific names of two kinds of cypress, two species of cypress.
Nice.
I don't know how to spell treant, so I'm kind of winging that. But
Trent.
A-N-T, I've been putting I-N-T.
It's close.
T-R-E-A-N-T, treant. It's right there in my notes, too. Okay. How can we approach bringing your brother to rest?
He must be destroyed. It will be difficult. I dare not face him, lest his fire burn me. But perhaps he may have some vulnerability to cold.
And there's a small flash, almost like the flash of a lightning strike, as you see the white tree nearby just light up very brightly just for an instant. And Fitzroy turns to it and says,
I do not know what this means.
Check it out.
May I?
and he turns to you and kind of takes note of the point to your ears and says,
There is something familiar about you. Something of the forest. Something of that.
And he points to the white tree.
Okay. I will approach the tree.
Okay. It seems to glow a little bit brighter as Rin approaches.
Can I reach out and like touch the trunk with my hand?
Yeah.
You
You
can try.
reach out, and where your hand touches the trunk, it glows brightly. And it feels warm somehow. There is something very familiar. You can't place what this is, but there's something very familiar. And then the rest of you see Rin disappear in a flash.
I knew something like that was going to happen. That's why I don't trust trees.
Fitzroy looks around in surprise. It registers slowly. Everything treants do is a little slower, and so but he definitely seems like this was very unexpected. And he turns and looks in confusion at the rest of you.
What happened?
Your friend is within the tree.
I'm new to this whole magic thing. Has that ever happened before?
This tree has never happened before.
He doesn't really know.
I mean, in all your years of shepherding treants to be alive, anything like this ever happened? Alive?
No, nothing like this.
There was another who came. Or are you going to finish it?
You can ask questions, but we'll come back to that because we're going to cut over to where Rin is right now.
Okay, I want to ask this question, then we can cut to Rin.
Okay.
There was another that we know came through this wood before. Is it possible she might be in the tree as well? Did you see anyone?
I did not see another, but it is possible.
Watch for Arlo while you're in there.
Yeah.
Cutscene. Ah! Ah! Yeah.
So, Rin, you are in what appears to be a shrine or a temple. And not that far ahead, you can see up standing where you would normally expect an altar to be in a circle of what appears to be stones. Floating above the ground is the form of Arla. In a pillar of light. All of the light in here is strangely green. You see stones all over the floor, loose stones, and some that are arranged in lines. You see the whole place appears to be constructed of stone, but as you look at it more closely, you can see that even the stones that are lying on the ground are actually pieces of wood. You can see grain. In every piece of what appears to be stone here is actually wood. And as you kind of lean down to touch one of them, it doesn't come up. It is not a singular piece. The whole place is grown, it would seem.
Can everybody else see this map, or is this just me?
No, we can lost it.
Okay.
Oh, there's a map. I want to see. I want to see. Oh my goodness.
And there is something odd about Arla's form floating there that you can tell. She looks different than the last time you saw her. Wrapped around her body is what appears to be something almost like plate armor made of wood, of natural wood, that seems almost to have grown from her. And in front of her, she holds a long sword. The blade is as long as it's as long as she is tall, and even with her floating, the tip of the blade nearly touches the ground. The blade is a deep green, a glossy green. This sword looks almost like a leaf. It has toothed edges, and it's semi-transparent. You can see stems and veins within the blade. And her eyes are glowing a deep green.
I'm gonna start to approach.
Okay.
Arla?
There's no response.
Can you hear me?
After a few moments of silence, you don't see her lips move, but in your head you feel her voice. It almost seems like it echoes through this entire chamber. And she says, You're not here. You're not real. You're just like the rest of it. None of it's real.
Arla. What's going on here?
I don't know.
I'm gonna come up the stairs on the left side.
Okay.
What do I do? What do I do? Give me your hand.
I can't.
Why?
You're not here.
I'm here. I am here. Listen to me.
Just another one of those projections. Whatever they are.
How can I prove to you that it's me?
I don't want you to be here. If you're here, I have to fight you like the rest of them.
The rest of who?
The things it's shown me. Reasons to accept the mantle.
Mantle? What mantle?
It says I'm supposed to be the Wood Warden.
Wood Warden. What does that mean?
I don't know. Protector of forests, some kind of warrior. It's not what I am. I'm a nobody. I stay in the shadows. That's all I've ever done.
Arla. Have you ever considered that there may be something more to you than you see in yourself?
What are you, a motivational speaker? Is it what? You can't get me to accept it by coming at it from one direction, so you're just going to try to sweet talk me into it?
Are you scared?
Of course I'm scared.
Tell me why.
I don't know where I am. I don't know what this is. I know this isn't right. This isn't what I'm supposed to be. I'm not important.
I felt that way once. I was 18. And I felt like no one wanted me. And I decided that I was just gonna disappear one night. So I snuck into a haunted forest. And when I ran into the undead that I was planning on being there, I was scared. And I didn't want to die. That was when I met the Raven Queen. And she gave me another chance at life. She made me more than I ever imagined that I could be.
You're just trying to talk me into this. It's the same thing I've heard. It's the power. I don't want it. I give it to someone who wants it. I just want to go back to the way things were.
That's not always possible. I know that this scares you. And that you feel unworthy, unimportant, that you shouldn't be in the spotlight. But imagine the good that you could be in this world. This world needs goodness.
Make a persuasion check.
26.
That's really good. You feel...
Oh, no, hold on, 24. That's a 24.
I'm sorry to tell you that makes the difference.
Dang it.
The DC was 25.
Dang it!
No!
It seems like she's listening at first, like it's almost getting through to her. And then you see that for the first time since you've come in here, her actual form moves. She shakes her head, closes her eyes, and for the first time speaks through her own body. She says, "No." And the voice is loud. It echoes through here. Echoes through the entire chamber, almost seems to shake it. Outside, you guys see that there is a vibration in the white tree now. It is shaking, the glowing is beginning to almost shimmer and flicker. And she drops to the ground, brandishes her sword, turns to you, and once again says, "I do not accept this." Roll for initiative.
As she drops, can I cast my Inspiring Spirit?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. I'll do that later. Initiative.
Darn true.
Shoot, that's a 7.
All right. So, you will be going second in initiative order here.
I kind of figured. It was a lousy score.
She got a 17, so. So she rushes forward towards you and takes a swing at you, which is a hit. And another swing back, which is a miss. Let's see. She makes some kind of motion that, for a second, a green mark flashes on your chest and then fades away.
Ugh.
You take 15 slashing damage.
15? Okay.
And, no wait, 17. 17 slashing damage.
17?
Yes.
Is that actually? Okay.
And as, she swings, you try to dodge out of the way, and, you manage to, get mostly out of the way, but her blade catches your arm, and, as her blade sinks into your flesh, your perception of time slows. You watch, it seems like it takes almost a minute as the leaf-like sword presses into the skin of your arm. Each tooth makes a small indentation for a moment just before you watch it break the skin. And there's a long moment. Your heart beats. You see blood splash out from the wound in slow motion. Each crimson droplet seems to follow a little arc from your arm through the air before it impacts, and striking the green blade, they're like tiny little explosions bursting into dozens of particles. You watch as your blood soaks into the sword, drawn as if by a magnetic force toward the stem-like depression in the center of the blade. There are small pulses of darkness that pass down the hilt between your heartbeats, tiny flashes of faint green light that glow into Arla's hand as they reach the base of the blade. And your vision flashes green for an instant. Another heartbeat passes, more blood, more dark pulses, more green strobes. You see Arla's eyes blink rapidly a few times as she is reacting to something, and then her face twists over what seems like 10 seconds into a look of shock. You just start to register that change as your own vision goes black. And you're somewhere else now. A small apartment somewhere among the dirty streets of a city. You're looking in a mirror. You're not yourself. Staring back, you see a strikingly beautiful dwarf woman. You instinctively know that you're only 17 years old. You have deep red curly hair with ringlets down past your waist. Your name is Heska Bellhammer. Your city is called Gate. Not the one people think of when they hear the name. The Gate people imagine is prestigious. It's a place where the strongest and the brightest gather. It's a center of commerce. Your Gate is a dingy slum, a poorly furnished room on the third floor of a half-rotten wooden building out on the southern fringes of the city. You close your eyes. Your life rushes past you. You were born in Hadlin, daughter of a poor family. You ran away from home when you were 14 years old. You made your way to the center of the continent because that's where things happen. A brief flash of memory strikes you. Its vividness tells you it's a very old memory, one from your childhood. On some level, you know it isn't real. This isn't a memory of the world that is, but of the world as you thought it should be. When you were young, when Heska was young, you knew that life could be difficult, painful. When your parents don't understand you, they beat you. You run away as soon as you think you can make it. Make your way to the city. You meet kindred spirits, good people, but still really on your own. Everyone has to fend for themselves here. You fear you might die in the streets, trying to make ends meet. Another forgotten casualty of hope and ambition. You're at your lowest point when you see his face. He's beautiful. Elves usually are, but he's something else. Those deep, golden eyes. When you were young, your father once showed you a piece of amber. That's what those eyes remind you of. Deep, clear, golden. Unlike anything you've ever seen. And when you look into those eyes, listen to the words he speaks, you can almost believe the things he tells you. All the men call you beautiful. You don't know if you believe it, but he isn't the first to say it. Still, it doesn't make any sense to you. You're nothing special. You're a dwarf. You have your virtues. Dwarves are strong, hardy, trustworthy, brilliant builders and smiths, but they aren't beautiful. They couldn't be. But when he says it, you almost believe it. He makes you feel beautiful. You can tell he's lying. You know it's part of his game. Yet somehow you go along with it. For just a few moments, he brings you into his world. You look out through stained glass windows deep in the forest, seeing a world that glows with possibility. You kiss him, touch him, feel something like euphoria with him. All is bliss. And then, as suddenly as he appeared, tall, dark, slender, beautiful, golden eyes like evening sun through jars of honey, he's gone, and you're alone again. You don't know where he's gone, but you don't really blame him for it. Weeks pass. You start to feel sick. Heavy. Doesn't take long before you know he's left you with something. You feel her growing within you. Months pass. You feel heavy carrying her, and in spite of everything, you can't wait to meet her. She kicks within you, kicks hard, and when your breath comes back, you feel a surge of joy. Time passes. You can sense her closeness. Only days left now, maybe hours before she'll come. You knew it. They come in the hour before dawn. Your eyes flutter to open to see them standing over you in the half-light. Men with hard faces holding thin swords. You try to ask why, but before the words leave your lips, you already feel it. Searing pain as a blade pierces your belly and through to your back. Another. 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 When you regain consciousness, you still feel the aches, the places where their swords pierced you. There's a moment of panic, and then it passes, and you realize you still feel her there within you. Tiny, innocent heart beating. And then there's this pressure. You see yourself holding her. She's tiny, fragile, perfect. You name her Arla. Years pass. You give her all you have. You know just how little that is. As perfect as she is, there is a space in your heart that is always empty. The blades still burn in your belly as years go by. You can still feel it. You chase a fleeting feeling you've never quite had. Lovers come, lovers go. None of them are ever what you hoped they would be. Some of them hit you, belittle you. You do everything in your power to pretend you don't feel it. You begin to drift away on your pain. You can see her there needing you. You desperately want to give her what she needs. You just can't. You don't have it. No one ever gave it to you. You couldn't ever find it. Eventually, one of the lovers goes too far, strikes you too hard. You're dying. Blood blooms from your lips, drips to the floor as you try and fail to speak. Arla watches it happen. She sees that light die in your eyes, watches you fade away. She's no more than 13 when it happens. You can see her anger and her terror. And you are so desperately sorry. You wish you could save her. You wish you could save yourself. And then everything goes black. A few more incomprehensible flashes burst across your vision. A green more intense than any color you've ever seen. A love and an instinctive trust and understanding that seems to fade. Familiar amber eyes set in wooden sockets, full of wisdom and sadness. They remind you of something. Once again, you see the eyes Heska saw. You've never looked on them yourself, Rin, but those amber eyes are familiar to you. They're the eyes you've seen in every mirror you've ever gazed into. They're the eyes of your father, Hazirian Xanathus. It's all so clear. You can see it now in her features. You know them. She's smaller, as slight as the breath of the wind, but it's so obvious now. Ilarane Devanara, Arla Bellhammer, is the sister you never knew you had. And you see, as you come back to yourself, that she is realizing it at the same moment. You see that she is seeing visions herself, seeing visions of you, of your mother, of the things that have brought you here. And as everything begins to fade back into ordinary motion, she drops the sword to the floor with a clatter, looks at you with something like shock, and then just rushes forward and hugs you as tightly as she possibly can. She says, I didn't know about you.
I didn't know about you.
Your mother was something else.
She was indeed. As was your mother.
Men came to kill you when you were young. Your mother stopped them. Made them believe they'd already done it. Used some kind of magic on them. They came to kill you. She went and found them. She told them that they'd already done what they came to do. And they just believed her. They just walked away. They went back and told their story. She says, this makes more sense now, somehow. I didn't just see you. I saw our grandfather.
Really?
What what do you know about our father?
I know he's a elite elven lord of Devera. Very set in his ways, I guess you could say.
Why did he send men to kill you? Why did he send men to kill my mother?
To purify the bloodline, I suppose.
She actually laughs at that. That's funny. Sounds like some of the wood elf nobles, but it's especially funny coming from him. He's not even entirely elf himself.
Ha!
Our grandfather was a dryad.
Oh.
His mother, her name was Edwara Xanathis. I only know this from what I've just seen, but she, wood elves are strongly inclined to spend time in nature anyway, but she barely spent any time on the family estates. She went out and wandered the woods, sometimes years at a time without coming back. And one of those trips, she ran into a dryad named Euphrates. Euphrates lived out in the woods somewhere, and he had been there a very long time when she met him. He might still be there. They were kindred spirits, understood each other quickly, that she fell in love. She returned home pregnant. Family wanted to keep it quiet. It was a difficult pregnancy. Magical hybrids, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. She actually died before our father was born. He was delivered by cesarean section afterwards. Her older sister, Jedin, named him Hazirian, brought him up. Somehow made him, I suppose, into what he is.
Never imagined I'd feel sorry for him.
I didn't know anything about our father until this. Mother didn't talk about him while she was alive.
I don't imagine. She had a time on it. I'm so sorry.
Me too. So you are actually here then?
Yeah. I think this proves it.
I thought it was the voice comes from our ancestry, I suppose, where we come from. I guess I'm supposed to be the Wood Warden.
I guess so.
Do you really believe I can do it?
Yeah, I really do.
Then maybe it's all right.
I hug her again.
Yeah, she hugs you back and then leans down, picks up the blade, pins it to her back where it just kind of stays. There's not a scabbard there or anything. It just kind of holds there. And
that's really cool.
Yeah, she closes her eyes and she speaks out loud and says, "All right. I accept." And there is a flash of green light, and out for the rest of you, you see the new tree that is glowing. Its glow turns from white to green, and then it just cracks open. And standing there in the center are Rin and Arla.
What the hey? As soon as I saw the light changed, I hurried and whipped out my siege maul just to have it ready, just in case anything happened.
Yeah.
And whoa!
Whoa! It's okay, down boy. Down boy.
That was a little weird.
So there was a change in her. She seems stronger than she did somehow a moment ago. Accepting the mantle of the Woodwarden apparently changed something within her. You realize now that something awakened in you too. Something to do with the Fey bloodline you did not know you had. And,
yeah.
So you get some cool new things.
You have an extra toe? Gonna make your shoes feel a little weird, but
That's part one.
Of ebony. Wow. Oh. Wow.
That is so cool.
What?
And
oh.
Jeez.
There you go. That's the stuff.
Wow. That's awesome. Oh gosh.
Yeah, somehow the now that you are aware of it, and now that Arla has accepted her warden, your own Fey ancestry is somehow awakened, and you feel a certain kinship with the forest that you had not previously noticed.
Wow.
And,
you know I'm gonna need a spell card for that.
Yeah, I will have to put one together for you. Yeah,
Holy crap.
Fitzroy, the green tree that split open to reveal you just kind of fades away. And Fitzroy, looking at both of you, definitely seems like he senses something different, and he recognizes that you have something about you that is of the forest. And he says,
"So, this is what it was. You are of the bloodline of the Elm Court. I have done business in my time with the Elm Court and with some of the great trees.
Yeah. I put my arm around her. I'm like, that was interesting.
And he looks at Arla and he says,
There has not been a wood warden for a long, long time. It will be your duty to care for the forests, but not perhaps in the same way that it is my duty. I admit some sadness that this was not an awakening as I had suspected. But I suppose I can care for these lands alone. Perhaps with the Wood Warden, you may be capable of facing what was once Widrington.
Well, I look over at her and I say, well, sis, you up for saving the forest?
Do I have to be?
It's now or never, I'm afraid.
Well, it might have been nice to, learn the ropes a bit first, but,
Who's older, by the way, her or me?
You, I believe, are a little older.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that you are older not by a huge amount, but by a few years, maybe.
Yeah. Good enough. Good enough for me.
And this is probably, with you guys making preparations, a good place to call it for the night.
Oh! Gosh, guys.
Whoa!
I have a sister, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, I had a couple of potential fights planned. Things got shifted around a little bit during the course of play, and so things didn't happen, partially because I was kind of trying to speed things along.
It's all good.
To make sure we would get to important stuff while we...
Yeah.
Holy crap, guys.
And I'm sorry that a lot of that was kind of like a one-on-one thing. I hope that's okay.
Episodes are going to be like that every once in a while. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If any of you had touched the tree, you actually could have gone in after her, by the way.
I was about to.
Yeah.
If it had continued more of the shaking any longer, cut back and and you guys notice it shakes a little bit more, I would have run up to the tree. I would have zapped in, but...
Yeah. Tamati's like the big brother I didn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like as soon as it started shaking, I'm like, crap, I want to go tuck the tree.
Yeah, remember a few weeks ago I mentioned that you had already had sort of some contact with something that had to do with the Xanathus family? It was
I
Arla.
do remember that! Oh my gosh. Oh.
Arla was always intended to be your half-sister from the beginning. So.
Nice.
But the thing connecting this story together that I was so happy about was turning her into the Wood Warden.
The would, Warden.
That brought so much together, like, and made this whole story make so much more sense for me.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't know a ton, neither of you know a ton about your Fey ancestry, even with the visions that you saw.
Yeah.
But Arla at least does suspect that your grandfather, Eupheres, might still be around. And
man. I gotta go back and, actually take notes, because I was trying to just pay attention and be in the moment.
Yeah. I saw those reactions. That was just like when
you mentioned his eyes, I knew right away.
Like, what?
Yeah, as soon as you had the dream shift, Chris sent me a message. Bet you they're half sisters. All of a sudden, this is your half sister. Called it. Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Same girl that was captured by
It was the hobgoblins, right? We rescued her from the hobgoblin
She's the
camp.
one we rescued from the hobgoblin camp.
Yeah.
Did David know then that last year?
I don't think we knew that it... Oh,
I knew that she was Rin's half-sister, but that wasn't something that came up. She didn't know either, so...
Yeah, I had no idea.
Arla had no idea, because how could she? She didn't know her father.
I'm glad there, because that would have been sad.
What's that?
Glad we rescued her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
rescued her.
If you guys hadn't rescued her, it would have been a much longer time before you found out that you were related to her.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Stuff like like that perception check that Tamati got to see the broken, that perception check saved Bior's life. That is the...
Oh, I'm so happy! So happy!
Just that is the perception check that allowed him to continue to live and not die out there.
I don't know what I would have done if he died.
Yeah.
I'm so sad. I almost had that persuasion check.
Yeah. That persuasion check would have prevented the fight from starting, not that really much happened with it. But then, probably...
I took 15 points of damage.
Yeah. 17 points of damage.
17, yes. Yes.
Because I forgot to account for her Warden's Mark damage. So...
wow.
Nice.
Even though she hadn't accepted the mantle, it's that she had the power there, and...
Yeah.
So...
Crap, man. Maleko's dead.
I'm sorry, man.
Since the Magus works with gunpowder, would he have an estimate idea kind of how much 6 to 8 pounds of gunpowder damage would?
It would be quite a lot. It would be a pretty big explosion.
7 fireballs.
I'm really digging this plan, actually.
What's that?
I'm really digging that plan, actually.
No, see, we want to preserve the forest.
Not that part of it.
Not the flaming treant, but the rest of the forest around him we want to try and salvage.
Take out tons of area.
Oh, you know what?
Athorn Village and then Loma.
There you go.
Well, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. I'm not going to say anything about that.
Thank you.
I'm just going to,
That's all they all
something that could have been, or something that may still possibly be?
Something that may possibly be.
Okay. Guys, I have a sister!
I've been sitting on that knowledge for how long now?
Gosh. That was before Clint came to play. We were level 4.
Yeah.
Long time.
Holy cow.
Some of the secrets I have for you guys, I'm going to have to sit on them for ages, and I hate it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, that part about Rin's mom, modifying the memory of the assassins who came to kill her, That was what David told me this week. I knew that Rin didn't.
It only occurred to me in the moment, basically, that if you were having this vision, that Arlo was probably also seeing some of your side of things.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
So I was
and if she sees it from the perspective of my mom, the way I did with her, then she's going to know what my mom did.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Sweet.
Man, you guys.
Yeah, I found another page of notes that said I took the Grasp the Sky book. Finally.
But yeah, making Arla the Woodwarden let me give you this information sooner than I was thinking it was going to happen. Because I wasn't thinking it was going to come up. Like, I kind of figured that... Like, I had kind of figured Arla stayed in Becksload for a few days and then left and kind of went back on her own. And then when I decided that... like, the idea of you guys having Fey ancestry and of her being the Woodwarden was new. That was what I came up with. But then...
Yeah.
Elves have Fey ancestry?
Not in our setting, no.
Okay.
A lot of versions of D&D, like a lot of different settings, will have Fey ancestry for elves, but the only elves in our setting that actually have like a direct relationship with the Feywild are the Eladrin, and even then it's kind of a different thing. This is just like you straight up have a dryad in the family. So.
Yeah.
Grandpa Dryad.
Grandpa Dryad.
Yeah.
What a fruitcake.
Alright, guys. I am traveling in Laurel Remy, so I'm going to check out.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Guys.
Sleep well. Most likely kill you in the morning. Sorry.
I'm glad that the spell description for Wooden Sanctuary actually fit there, because I was worried that I was going to have to split it up into chunks.
Yeah. Wow.
That's way cool.
And Wooden Sanctuary, you can just cast anytime. You don't have to do anything with your Ebony Heart form for that. You just can do it whenever.
Okay.
That's just like a free thing.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Cool. So
but yeah, there were a couple of places where, like, on your way to Bior, I was originally going to have you guys have a small fight, and I was just like, we're pressed for time here if we want to get to
worked out good. Yeah.
Yeah.
if we want to get to the really interesting stuff tonight. We'll skip this.
That's one of the reasons. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I was like, I'm going to flip up my hood of Elvenkind because I want to be really fast about this. Because sneaking around is not my favorite thing to do in this game, but I'm doing it.
I was just like, that fight wasn't going to be like anything super crazy anyway, so maybe I'll just fold it into something else.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Be awesome. Awesome.
But yeah, the stuff in Becksload was like, they've had a bad time.
So
it's rough.
So you said she got my arm. I can't quite remember the way you described it. Good night, Heidi.
Night.
Good night.
But like what I was thinking is like if I'm there, I'm just trying to persuade her, and she like comes at me. I'm gonna throw up my arm, just kind of reflexively, and that's how she caught my arm.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of how I pictured it in my head.
Yeah.
I have a sister.
I lost my brother.
I'm sorry.
This is a little rough. Not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really torn when I was deciding who made it and who didn't. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, because I really like Maleko. He was a fun character.
Yeah.
It's just like
we shared a hobgoblin's ale.
Yeah, just like that's the thing. stakes. Has to have like real stakes. And I was like, if it's just mostly people that you didn't interact with that died, or only interacted with to a degree, then doesn't affect you guys as strongly.
Yeah.
So
It's true. Yeah. It's
Well,
yeah.
On some good news, I got the deed to the. I haven't officially gotten it, but I got the deed to the mansion.
It is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kona left a package for Jasu with Verisa that has some of the things he asked for. She couldn't get all of them.
Yeah.
Sure.
She couldn't get into the safe, and she couldn't figure out a way.
Honestly, I'm kind of wondering if we should give the mansion to Verisa and Bior to restart
we were talking about that last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. We already got it planned out.
Yeah.
We just kind of need like a base of operations for, Downlands from there.
Yeah.
Eventually get like a teleportation sigil in there if we ever need to, come back quickly or something.
Seriously.
Yeah. Make travels up north a little faster.
Yeah. But yeah, all the stuff with like making Arlo the Wood Warden, I was just like, oh, that makes all this work. I had not figured out how this was going to work. I knew there was a treant. I knew that like something had gone wrong. And then so much of this was created in the last couple of days while I was figuring out the connection.
Oh my gosh. Oh. It was amazing. I knew this was going to be my episode. I knew it.
I kind of had accidentally indicated that to you without wanting to, because I had to ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah, you asked me how old I was and whether I had followed my mother.
Yeah.
As far as backstory. And shoot, what else did you ask me? I think there was another one. Oh, you kind of asked me about Leah Marth and Ladrina and like their relationship and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was kind of trying to get some extra information. I'm just like, I know I ask you questions about your character from time to time, but I feel like it's going to be hard to conceal that this is probably going to be leading into something.
Yeah. Oh. But I'm excited now because I'm like, mine is done. It's out of the way. Let's go to someone else.
Yeah.
Like
that part of yours is done.
Yeah. I mean, that's not my big arc, obviously, but we're still kind of in our like mending the party phase. So, but this is my teaser. My teaser's done. Shara's is done. Who's next? I guess Jasu kind of had one.
We kind of did a big teaser thing for Jasu with the whole connection to Xeraphal and the shifts. So, like, we've kind of had little feature moments, early feature moments for you guys.
Yeah. So, my fingers are shrinking.
Fingers are shrinking? What?
Yeah. We went and got my ring resized.
Oh, nice.
And now it fits on a different finger because they're starting to get smaller.
Nice.
Are we gonna have to get it resized again?
No, I think it should be okay. If I end up having, I'll wear this one on the middle and get the other ring from your mom.
Yeah.
Just wrap it in duct tape.
That's what I'll do.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to use the voice changer for Fitzroy, but I wanted to try to change his manner of speech enough that it sounds separate from...
I liked that his speech pattern was kind of choppy.
Just
it made sense for...
It's kind of slow and doesn't flow exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I liked it.
Oh. Gosh.
Even if we keep talking, this is probably a good time to send Craig away.
Bye, Craig.
Bye, Craig.
Bye, Craig.
Who needs you here, Craig?